Alrighty, well, welcome. Welcome to the Raving Mad Gamerz Lockdown Series, which is going to get underway in just a few minutes. I see I'm getting warnings from YouTube and Streamlabs that there are dropped frames, so please in chat let me know what the experience is like there, and I'll see what I can do from this end to sort it out. But, so we have 8 teams battling it out to be the lockdown champions. And I think we can have a quick look at the brackets to see who's playing, and I'll tell you which games we're going to be streaming. Let's find this here. And we should have the bracket up on screen now. And I'll have Altruism with me in chat in a moment. We're going to be casting. All right, so we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. We're going to cast 4 of those. So we're going to cast one of the games, cast and stream one of the games from round 1. And we're going to take on Atomic Esports versus GSE. That's the game we're going to be casting first. And then we're going to do both round 2 games. So one right after the other, and then, of course, the final. All matches are a best of 5.
The way it's supposed to be.
Altruism has slipped into the channel. Welcome. I'm good. How are you, mate?
Like that. I'm doing amazingly well.
Fantastic. You how's lockdown compounded by Easter weekend been for you?
Oh man, it's been a lot of work, I must admit. We start school tomorrow, so we're kicking off the new term with online teaching for the first time in history.
Holy moly.
It's going to be interesting to see.
That's actually pretty awesome. So it's basically like I mean, you're a streamer, so you're just streaming your teaching now.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is I am set for this because I have hundreds of hours of experience into setting up streams and stuff like that. The other teachers, you got to see, like, other teachers are taking half an hour to log into Google and stuff like that, from what I've heard. So it should be interesting, but you see the amount of work that's going into it. Like, the entire industry is rallying around it, and I think it's going to be amazing. We're going to see some really cool stuff actually coming out.
That's amazing. So what are you going to be teaching?
Physical science.
Very well. There you go. Okay, physical science from the comfort of your bedroom.
Well, I'm not going to do it from my bedroom. Like they do have like a camera or something. I'm not going to like pose there in solitary positions for my students.
Oh, so it's properly legit. Okay, cool. Well, we've had a complaint from Lauren that you're pretty soft. I've turned you up, so Lauren, let us know if that's now better. Andy, all the way from, I think it's Denmark. Andy's in Denmark. He's stopped by the channel to watch. So I think we're going to be pretty much ready to go. I think we have our first invite. So we're going to be taking our first match is Atomic Esports versus GSE. That's the first match we're going to be taking on.
Awesome. I've sent you an invite. Either that or you can invite me.
Yeah, I'm going to invite you because I'm already in the party. So I shall invite you. Oh boy, if I can get my... Now, I haven't been in Rocket League since finishing my 90-day training epic. I have not been... I
saw that. Congratulations.
Oh, man. I am more thrilled that it's done than anything else. But and I'm now taking a well-deserved break from playing Rocket League. So I haven't touched the game and won't until Wednesday. And hopefully, in that time, 90 days of training will stew in my mind and I'll be a genius when I return.
Yeah, you got to let it percolate and just let all those skills that you've learned and trained for just percolate back up to the top.
Absolutely.
It's got to come out.
No, I reckon. Okay,
how did you
cool.
find it, though? Like, I got to ask, how did you find it?
Well, listen, I got to the point where I actually enjoyed the training. So I'm now... I enjoy the process now of taking something I don't know and grinding it out until I'm better at it.
Nice.
So, but listen, there were absolutely days where I went, if I didn't commit to streaming this, I would not be doing this right now. So it's hectic. It's every single day Rocket League for 90 days. And the world was very different 3 months ago. It was all full of 2020 optimism at the beginning of January, you know. Now it's all gone to shit and here we are. So
fair enough. Do you find that it helped? Like, I assume, did you get your GC at the end? I think that
Oh,
was
you must be
everywhere
joking.
did,
Yeah, no,
but-
absolutely. No. And that's part of the frustration is that I'm absolutely a better player, but I'm not improving. And so I'm busy making my video of like what I learned from it. And it's
Nice.
and it's quite bizarre. So the question is, did it help? My answers are definitely, maybe, and I'm not entirely sure. so we'll
It
see how
definitely
it
helps.
goes.
Hasn't done enough though yet.
Yes, no, and it's ongoing. And there was expectation, and there's reality, and the two didn't quite match up. Okay, so let me just check now what. I just want to see what teams are. Okay, Atomic is blue.
Lockdown series. Okay.
All right, well, we're
Fine.
getting this.
Lockdown series. Do you have the live bracket? Just so I've got. I've got the starting bracket.
Yes, well, the start. It's only 8 teams, so there's 4 matches. There's 4 matches in round 1. There's you got it. Innovation Deviants versus Yeetus That Fetus. I have no idea what team that is. And then Atomic Esports, the one we're covering now, and then NOS versus Innovation Ascendance, and Meme Team versus Team Fusion.
All right.
All right. Well, I think we're pretty much good to go. Teams are in, and this is game 1 of a best of 5. Okay. All right, so we have 5 in. So we're still waiting for, by the look of it, the other team. Who we got? Carl and we Casper. So we're missing 4 players. Or was it 3?
4. No, there's Creamy. Creamy's in
Carl,
there.
Creamy, we Casper. So we got 1 team in. We got Atomic in, so we're just waiting for GSE.
And this is our Deviants team, isn't it?
No, this is Atomic versus GSE.
Atomic versus GSE. There we go. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so Atomic.
And Atomic did spectacularly in the ACGL, which you missed last Wednesday, unfortunately. And I missed you a lot. We'll come back to that. But they performed fantastic. They, I think, was sort of 3rd. Lost to Ascendance in the end, but wow, they a team that are going to impress, and I think will go far. They reminded me a lot of IVE of the Ascendance team of about 10 months ago. Very threatening, very strong, and I think they're going to be proper contenders in the weeks and months to come.
Oh, nice! That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I must admit, but both of these teams we have seen before. We have seen Atomic Esports and GCE. I don't know who that is.
They've played in ACGL. I don't think we've ever actually covered any of their games, but
GCE. Let's see if I can find out some information. No, they don't list the players on it.
Okay.
Because
they
we have seen a lot from Atomic, and they are a great team. I mean,
Yes.
Carl, Casper, and Creamy with his backboard reads in the last couple of games that we've seen in have been amazing.
Yes. No, they're very strong, and I know very little. I'm keen to see the players who's on the GSE team, and we'll see that very shortly. Okay, they need to restart this lobby because somebody didn't have cross-platform play enabled, so that's delayed things.
Okay.
But we'll get underway now. All right, joining back up into the lobby. Let me send now to... Hi needs a link. All right, so we still only have 1 team in there. Oh, here comes the other. So we have Salty. 2 more and we're in. Salty, Pie, and Luca. Or Marco, I'm just going to call him Marco. All right, so players I'm not too familiar with.
Marco Marco, Lucky Luca, and Salty Pie. Why does Salty Pie ring a bell there? But not well enough to trigger anything. But
Lucky Luca, I've definitely played against him. All right, well, we'll see what they're all about in just a moment. They are in. Atomic is in blue. And obviously GSE is orange. So finally, we have some Rocket League. Let's go.
Right, I'm excited to see a team like GSE. You know, Atomic Esports is one of those teams that are starting to get a lot of recognition in the South African scene, and so it'll be nice for them to test it out. But you know, you're also not going against that incredibly intimidating names like XD or something like that in your first game. So it'll be interesting to see how they fit into the Rocket League scene in South Africa. They have Salty Pie going up. Carl was the last man back and missed it, but he wasn't able to follow it up. And it was Lucky Luca who had a shot there. Now Marco going to try and shove it up to the other side. Carl is there and manages to push it all the way over, finds Creamy, and all three players from the orange side already starting to push forward quite significantly. Then a shot comes out though, and Creamy just managing to fend off Marco's great attack from very early in.
Well, a couple of whiffs, whiffing from both teams, but this GSE team, look like they got the makings of something. They're not being overawed here. They're in there, but having just said that, Creamy.
This clear out here from Salty Pie. He was probably trying to get it into the corner there to run it up along the wall, and he couldn't get it out. And as soon as you put a ball flat off the wall towards your side, you've got to be expecting that shot, and just the last defender wasn't able to come out in time. And nice capitalization on an early mistake. And so a minute in, and Gazmerz looking for the air dribble. He just doesn't get his car far enough around, trying with that flick. And good attempt though, certainly a nice position for them to be in.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that. Oh, Gazmerz with a last second save
there, guys. You don't want that to be trickling around in the middle, and so Salty Pie is going to rotate out now, and good pressure coming out from GSC to constantly have their own attempts at this. Oh, Gazmerz with a nice flick, but no follow-up.
And just looking at the orange rotation, they seem to have a fairly good grip on what they're supposed to do, where each teammate's supposed to be. I haven't seen too many double commits. The communication seems to be good. So far, I haven't seen this team yet, but not completely unhappy with what I see.
Both teams trying out a couple of really nice moves, I must admit. You've seen those air dribbles come in. We've seen the ceiling shots or the wall shots trying to be finished off of the backboard reads. And it's nice to see that mentality from both these teams. Carl with the blistering shot there. Goalkeeper was not able to find their wheels, and a good pass coming out here from Gazmerz, but to just push it. And Lucky trying to get it past, and Salty Pie coming off the wall.
Yeah, the eternal post struggle, and he just couldn't get himself right in time to save that.
It happens at every stage when you just get a slight angle wrong on your rotation. And now Creamy's going to try and make an attempt. He's carrying.
This looks good, and
he gets it. Ooh, that was nice.
That was magnificently done. Complete solo play. Not sure if he was going for the flip reset there, but he didn't need it in the end. Very well controlled, very well finished.
That first touch was critical there, and he managed to turn the ball completely towards the goals and just followed it up and kept it in the air there. He didn't have to try anything difficult. It was the first touch that made all the difference. And lots of rotations coming out from these guys as they fly through the air, I must admit.
So it looks like Carl is the Flakes equivalent of the Atomic team. He's always trying out the less popular cars, rocking the Mudcat this week after the Vulcan last week. So let's see if he sticks with it.
Carl just didn't have the position and the boost there. Nice shutdown from Gazmerz, but this is going to be dangerous. It goes up. He's already in the air. Does get shut down nicely. Good rotation coming out from Salty Pie, but Carl's going to try to put it in towards the center, and all three players now caught in the corner. It's going to put some pressure on them if they can't clear it soon.
Yeah, now this orange defense is being pushed, and they're sort of struggling to keep their formation while they look to clear it. Oh, nicely done.
So good clear up. Good defense coming out consistently from this orange side here. GCSC managing to do it. Now Gazmerz is going to put it down into the center. Carl is there, doesn't get a touch, and so is not able to push it over the last defender. but nice rotations coming out from them in general. They're clearing nicely. They're certainly playing, and the scoreline doesn't reflect the quality that they've been playing at. No real offensive opportunities of their own to talk of yet.
Yeah, well, I think that's. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no! Just that bad jump coming out of goals here. I don't know if he just tried to pre-jump it or something, and it was slower than he expected, but just not getting up to that.
Perhaps missed his double jump. But yeah, they've looked fairly solid in defense. I mean, and that belies the 4 goals they've conceded. But where they're struggling is getting it out of their half, transitioning into some kind of threatening-looking attack. Atomic able to, for the most part, keep it in GSC's half, and that's always a tough thing when you just can't figure out how to get it out of your half. And here we go. Casper gets his first for the match.
Oh, this was unnecessarily complicated and difficult to try there. He tries to flip off the wall, and that sort of play comes in the last third as you're approaching the opponent's goals. Then you only need 1 or 2 touch, but when you're trying to clear it out like that, you'd rather just jump off the wall and get a nice solid clear towards the other side into a good space rather than trying to carry it. Because the problem is if you do drop it and you've got a good chance of dropping it, then you're just setting your team up. And nice read from Casper.
Oh my word. Well, now
basics going wrong here.
Well, the first minute and a half was pretty good. There were very few goals. Now Atomic running away with it, 6 goals. So Atomic going to take this first match, and hopefully GSE can come back in the second. The chat seems to be filled with GSE supporters, so hopefully the second game will be good for them.
Salty Pie getting baited out there. They've certainly got the skills, and I think they've got the potential. Casper with a little bit of styles there, getting his car the full 360 before picking it up again. Now that's how to trouble with. Oh no, he's gonna go for it. Oh man, Casper he's having fun at this stage of the game, and that's good from him. It shows a good mentality. It shows that the team is comfortable in their position now, and really trying.
Yeah.
Where is he coming from? I don't know, but
let's do the. Okay, so it's the last 20 seconds is all about the ceiling.
All right, so GCE is definitely letting themselves down on their basics. They're not getting the clears the rights. It's pushing off the backboard. Oh, this could be a little consolation. Nah, shoved out just in time. But they're missing stuff like clearing it. They're missing stuff like just getting a person on the ball. At the end of the day, if you're going to go for a stylish shot, you've got to at least get something on it. Otherwise, you've just dedicated yourself and all your boost to a ball that's now going to be cleaned up, and it's going to turn pressure badly. So you'll see all the pro teams, even when they don't make a great shot when they're trying something difficult, they make enough of a shot to get it away from the opponents. And so, that's what you've got to do, is you've got to consistently build that up. And a fantastic play is a fantastic play only if it finds the back of the net. Otherwise, it's just risky, to be honest.
It's just a lot of boost for no real reward. And fair enough. Okay, so now they're going to... I see they're all placed, all console players. Whether that has any bearing on this, I have no idea, but there we go. Michael, there were a maximum of 8 slots. All of those were filled, so 8 teams in total.
There we go.
All right, we are ready for game 2. Let's see how GSE can perform, make a comeback, level this out, take it to a game 3 and 4. Let's see how we do.
See the difference in shots there, though. Atomic had 11 shots at goal, whereas GSE only had 2, and both of those 2 came within like the first minute. So it meant that by the time, they kind of just sat back, and after that first minute where they looked so strong and they really looked like they were giving a good competition and we didn't know which way it was going to go, that's when they were playing their best. And then they just started to make a couple of little mistakes here and there. And, it's going to be interesting to see if they can get those. And that's the problem with the new style of Rocket League, I'd like to call it. I come from the good old days where a flip reset wasn't even known. Oh no, you've got to be making a save like that. This should be basic car control.
That should not have been a goal.
Good shot from Carl. Certainly put the pressure, but a flailing...
But at 58 k's an hour, Salty Pie should have been there. Could have been there, should have been there. To answer a question in chat, Michael, we're only streaming one of the first round games, of which there are 4, and then we will stream all the games thereafter. So all the round 2 games, and then of course the final.
This new style of Rocket League is very much about the flair, and so I come from the days of no flip resets, basic dribbling, and it meant that you had to get very good basic car control and game understanding, because there was no way to air dribble past your opponents. There was nothing like that.
You had to get around them the old-fashioned way, yeah.
I do it the old-fashioned way. I'm still sitting at champ level, so you don't need to be able to do all that stuff, and I feel that too many new players these days are instantly, after 400 hours, trying to pull off the flip resets and the air dribbles and stuff like that. Spend the first 500 hours of your game just learning how to hit a decent shot. A solid clear, a solid pass, and then start working on playing off the walls or something like that. But when you're not making, pro-level saves? Oh no, this pinch is going to go in. He's going to get it.
Oh, all right.
Back of the net.
GSC are on the board.
Casper, you were trying way too hard to do fancy stuff there. You deserve for that to be shut down.
All right, so Carl Anderson in the chat says that this GSE team they're all Battlefield and COD players. So having a go at Rocket League, and wow, more power to them. That's awesome. Welcome to it. We hope you'll stick around for a long time.
Oh yeah, got lots of Rocket League hits tonight. Gonna see some great matches, I'm sure, and how much fun that'll be. Oh, what a touch coming out from Colin there.
Oh, weak Casper.
Weak Casper. That save. The save coming out from Lucky Luca.
All right, now there's a bit more confidence flowing in this team. That's pretty cool. Oh, no!
Hey!
Oh, my goodness. What is going on?
Interesting little touch coming out there, Creamy. I'm not 100% sure what he was going for, but that means that GSC actually takes the lead here for the first time.
Well, all we know for sure, Altruism, is that there was a plan, and that wasn't it.
That was definitely not it. We hope that wasn't it. So,
all right, now, well, they're looking a little plucky on GSC. Let's see what they can do with this advantage. Oh, and they've conceded it through Carl.
Carl. Oh, great touch. Weak Casper definitely coming off the wall there quickly. And what an aggressive play coming out from Carl to shut that down. He never had the angle. He never was going to hit it first. And he went for the dunk, and it went perfectly.
And Wee Casper rocking the Merc. Oh, here comes Luca with a chance, cleared by Wee Casper. That would have been a nice regain of the lead there. Oh, Salty Pie with some work being done here. Carl's going to get it away, though.
Are you streaming on Twitch?
No, YouTube.
YouTube, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was wondering because your Twitch isn't working.
Yes. Carl now! Great save by Marco.
There we go. All right. So both teams actually looking a bit stronger here. Oh, Creamy nearly costing that for his team, but Weak Casper coming around very nicely and very quickly. So a lot more confident team play coming out here from GSC. 3 minutes down, and they're looking much more evenly matched. Than
they've had a bit of luck. They've ridden that luck, and it's by the look of it giving them a lot of confidence. And now they're spending a lot more time in Atomic's half than they did in the first game.
It's a good touch there. Weak Casper trying for the redirect.
Oh, Cole's going to miss. Marco's going to miss. It's floating toward an open net. Luca gives it a shot. It's going to hit the crossbar. Casper clears.
Now they could be turning themselves around. This could be the karma paying up for the Salty Pie managing to set it off course. But, it is that luck that you're talking about. But at the end of the day, the scoreboard only counts it. And those opportunities, long shot. I thought someone at the back must have been able to read that.
Yeah,
they had all the time in the world from Carl. Lucky Luca just having his car facing the wrong way there.
No, and that can be tough if you having just come out of 90 days of training. That's not the easiest save, and you got to go early and know what you're doing, and it can be a tough save. But he should have got there. Oh, this is open, Casper. Oh.
It's still not finished. There's Marco up into the air, not managing to find the back of it, and now they're going to turn around the pressure. Creamy is chasing up, so it's going to keep going. Weak Casper going for the jump with no boost. Interesting play by him. Tap down by Creamy, and Good rotation now coming out. No boost to talk of on this side, but that touch is enough to just get it past Casper.
Looked like a late jump there by Luca, but they've cleared it for now. But here comes Casper again. Down in front of the goal. Great pass, but great clear. But here come Atomic. Creamy looking to finish his own shot, but Carl will be there to clean it up, pick it up, and give them the comfort of 2 goals with about 30 seconds left to go.
Look at that. There you had both players committing to the tackle, and Salty Power went for the corner boost there. It took 3 mistakes. And that's saying something about their normal defense, that they normally are right at keeping the ball out, but when they go wrong, they go horribly wrong. There was very little communication there, and in a team where you've only got 1 goal, or in a game where you've only got 1 goal lead, you've got to try cut that sort of thing down. Otherwise, you are going to lose against a team like Atomic who can punish it.
All right, Atomic now pretty much. They've got this game pretty much sewn up. They're going to take a 2-game lead with a 3-goal cushion in the second game.
Nice little pop coming out from Carl there. Backwards backflip and just creates a space for Creamy. And no one challenged it from Orange. And nice, gentle, soft shot coming on in the top there.
I think
position shot though.
I think a good description of GSE are plucky. They're in here. They're doing the thing. I think they recognize that they're a little outmatched here, but they're giving it their all, and I'm enjoying what they're doing.
I'm also enjoying that they're bringing some confident moves to it. You know, they're playing some high or some low percentage shots there that if they come off, they'll take out even a good team. You know, they're trying for the very big plays, and if they can keep practicing with it, then they're going to be able to pull those things out. You know, more times you start getting those sort of moves right, the more games you're going to start winning. So even though they're here and they're not paying off this time, this is how you get the practice, so that in 6 months' time, when you do start pulling off those moves, it's cool that you've started working with them as a team and can start following up on them.
All right, well, in chat was a question, did Clapham Junction enter? No, they did not. And then Carl saying, GSC won't back down! That sounds like a COD mentality. From the clan, let's go.
No, they shouldn't back down. You know, they're not doing anything wrong at this stage. They just need to get a little bit more consistency in their shots, a little bit more rotation. You know, it's kind of been down to their positioning, I feel, that a couple of their goals have been open shots, or they've had to make slightly more difficult attempts and difficult saves than they needed to. So if they can start getting their car positioned right so that they can play the simple stuff and make it work, and then shut down those silly mistakes, then they're going to be a great team. So yeah, they've still got a good attempt at this competition.
Well, let's see them go now. No double elimination tonight, so you lose, you're out. Instant knockout. All right, here comes Marco with an opportunity here. Passes to himself off the wall. Creamy taking it out.
Good baiting out from Creamy there. The aggressive play knocks Lucky Luca flying. And now Lucky Luca being battered by his own teammate. Pinched between a rock and a hard place.
Oh, yeah, they go. They got an opportunity. Oh, great little touch there to clear it away by Casper.
Cole not able to flick that out just yet. So Salty Power, desperate attempt there. Not able to find it. And now he's going to find a second touch instead.
Life's
to the center. Starting to get some aggressive plays. Atomic Esports has been a minute now without a goal, and they're looking to put on a little bit more pressure here. Touched up towards the center.
Oh, but here we go! Oh!
You can see the aggression coming out, and they nearly got punished for it. And against a good team, they'll punish that every time. And you cannot afford to play that aggressively without some sort of rotational backup.
Oh, Marco! Yeah!
Oh, bad mistakes in defense coming out from both of them. Great long pressure shot there. Carl facing the wrong way. Creamy trying to cut it off sideways. And instead, Carl having to make something out of it to save the goal. And instead, they just followed up. So that was a well put together play that just capitalized on that aggression coming out.
And life's a glitch in chat says he's so proud of the COD guys for going for it. Oh no, but they've conceded almost immediately. But yeah, we should be proud of them. They're out here representing. Big up to them.
Yeah, life's a glitch. You got to get everyone into these tournaments that you can. You're not a COD player or a CSGO player or a Dota player. You're a person who enjoys games, and what better game to enjoy than Rocket League?
All right, well, they've shown that they can do it. Can they do it more than once?
Maybe they don't need to, but I think you definitely want some sort of push, especially against the last couple of games. You know that these guys can score against you quite consistently, so you want to try and get some sort of leeway here.
All right, they're hanging back a little bit. They're going to come forward. Lucky
Dangerous.
Luca on his own. He had an open net. Damn, he wanted to control that a lot more, and he just tried for the quick shot, but wasn't able to get it.
Just got himself on the wrong side of that ball. He actually did have the pace and the time, but he set himself up slightly wrong. And nice pass coming out from Creamy. Not the greatest clear, though. He's going to turn the pressure around them again. Carl being beaten out by Weak Casper on his own team. Weak Casper's got this. He's wanting this. I don't think he got the flip reset, but tried hard. Here it goes. Flick it in. Nope.
Well, to the point you made earlier, GSC are not a team full of high-level mechanics, but they're making up in sort of just dogged play, that sort of more old-school stuff than with all the fancy stuff. Salty Pie couldn't get there before Creamy did. At the next break, I'll show the bracket, Michael, and then you can see who's in.
Oh, no, I managed to find it. I sent it to you on Steam.
Oh, no, sorry, wrong Michael. Michael in chat.
Right. Bad. Stop, Michael. Good name. Okay, Carl's got this. He's going to try and get it in. He's looking to flick it towards the center. He does pop it over one. Creamy is going to be up for this one. Carl's going to try and follow it. Taps it back down to Weak Casper. And again, nicely constructed play there, but nothing coming out of it yet. Certainly making opportunities for themselves now. And got to just make sure that those opportunities, you either get it off or you manage to buy enough time to get your rotations out so that once you've set up that sort of constructive play, there's someone to cover. Weak Casper now, no, Salty Pie is going to get there way before him. So good attempt, good mentality coming out here from both sides, both managing to fend off each other. Good shot coming out now. Now it's Marco to make the save though.
All right, and now in the last minute and a half or so, Atomic have been better in their sort of got their rotation back together and keeping the ball in the orange half as much as possible. And
come on, guys, you can't put two like that. Do it, Carl. Do it, Carl.
Oh, come on! All right, now GSC, can they punish?
And that totally deserved to go the other way right there.
Marco knows up. He's gonna get it in. Oh, wow.
26 seconds left, and Creamy just could not pop this out far enough, and they had it. Marco had it red from the beginning. Beautiful shot in, and just everyone committed to that side wall for some reason.
Are we going to see a little turnaround here? Well, we have the makings of it, the beginnings of it.
Hey, the COD guys, they got to come out for it. They're plucky players. They've put in the hours. They've got a good bit of skill, and certainly lovely to see them doing something. No, Carl. What a carry. What a beautiful goal to turn it around.
Yeah, just like Creamy did in Game 2, I think it was. Carl taking it the entire distance. No one there from GSC to defend that. And they had just 15 seconds more to defend out. They couldn't do it.
So we're going to probably see our first overtime unless this turns on its head very quickly. Could go dangerously here. No, Creamy's going to turn it around. Going to pop it with Weak Casper.
Oh, this is dangerous for GSC.
Just let it drop.
He's trying to keep it up.
When you're stationed in your back half like that, just put it down on the floor. Take the overtime.
Move half a meter forward and let the ball roll off your roof. All right. We have an overtime.
First overtime.
Game 3. GSC pushing hard. Okay, that's popped up there. Carl's going to get there first. Firmly in the orange half. The whole GSC team is back waiting for that. Salty's going to be able... Can he pass it? Oh, Lucky with a great intercept and push downfield. Oh! You felt there was an absolute opportunity there if he got a touch on that.
There was. close. Oh no, this is it. This is it. Creamy's gonna. Oh, good contest coming out there from Marco. The Salty Pie just not able to clear it out at all, and good turnaround actually. I thought that was it.
A minute of overtime coming up, and GSC are still in it, looking for a win to stay in the competition. Oh, bump from Carl. Oh, nice aggressive play there from Salty Pie. They have possession. What can they do with it?
I think Atomic has forgotten what was getting them all the goals in the previous games. Is if they just took long, hard shots, consistent pressure towards the goals, and kept reading it off the backboard. You don't have to be doing air dribbles to beat this team. They were doing so well with that consistent long pressure. Test the keeper and keep testing him until he gets it wrong.
But it is always interesting when you are a team that's very good mechanically and pretty fast, and then you play a team that's not quite at that level. It can be hard adjusting down. Oh, Salty, so close.
No, that should be a goal. Come on. Yeah, you are right though. It's just there's an amazing. Creamy. Okay. Carl nearly finding that off the pitch. It is weird though to play against teams who can read your mechanical skill and deal with you in the air like that, and then you get a lot of space in the air, and it makes it very tempting, I think, to want to go for those air dribbles when you get the opportunity like this, when you start working together, Creamy and weak Casper.
No, it's kind of like, when when you're playing against bots, and I don't mean to liken GSE to a bot, but you can't fake a bot. A bot's just going to go straight. So all your sort of tactical mind plays and all of that don't necessarily work with the lower skill teams, because they're just going after that ball, and they're not reading 3 steps ahead. They're just reading the ball right now, and it can be quite unsettling if you're used to playing teams who are trying to read each other that way.
Oh, it was hilarious. Back when I was playing with Nyanfo and Zebra, that was one of the big things that Zebra used to about.
Yes.
There we go. We got it.
Casper finishes it off for Atomic. Well played. But a great fight by GSE. They came out there, and particularly in that third game, they gave Atomic a run for their money. Atomic must have been getting a little frustrated. They would want to have just gotten this over in as few minutes as possible, but no, they actually had to put in some work.
But to think there that Carl only managed to pull it off with 15 seconds left to bring it to overtime. I mean, that was closer than I think they would have liked, but well played to GSE. Definitely showing their worth and showing their skills in this competition. Marco coming out there with both of the goals. Out of his 3 shots. So, well played to GSC. Unfortunately, that is them out now of this competition.
All right, and so I've put the bracket up on screen. So the match we've just watched is Atomic Esports versus GSC. That match now finished. Atomic Esports will go forward to meet the winner of Deviants versus Yeetus That Fetus. Okay, I'm not sure whose team that is, but interesting name. Actually, I just want to make this a little bit bigger, so... no, wrong one. There we go. There we go. Now we can see. So there are the teams that entered. And on the other side, NOS Esports versus Innovation Ascendants. We do know that Meme Team and the Team Fusion matches was starting late. So we're going to pick up now with a round 2 matchup with Atomic and whoever they meet, which will be either Innovation Deviants or Yeetus That Fetus. And just from a name perspective, I'm hoping that the Deviants make it through. But I'm not sure what's happening there, and we will get... I'm sure we will get all the info as soon as that's done. So you were saying at the end of that match about Zebra getting a little triggered.
It was hilarious because he and Nyanfo were reading like 4 or 5 steps ahead in the match, and we'd play against a team that wouldn't fake out. They wouldn't, play well enough for these guys to read it. And so they'd be like, okay, I must pull back because the guy's going to hit the ball like this and he's going to do a soft shot so I can't push up too far. Meanwhile, I'm just driving behind these guys at full pace, like 2 rankings below them, and then just driving into it and diving at the ball. And it worked out. And Zipper's like, you shouldn't be getting away with that. You should not be scoring against them with that sort of shot. They should have been hitting that, and yet you're going for the 50-50 and coming out on top. I'm like, justify.
No, I
just recognize what level my opponents are at and play to that level. You can't mind game.
No, I've seen it a lot with when I've had the opportunity to play with higher level players, and they're playing at my level, and they're just shocked at how the lower level people play. You know, it's kind of like. And you go, well, these are my peeps. Absolutely. And they're like, I can't believe he went for that, because at their level, they've been given a bit more space, there's a bit more thinking. And so and we've all experienced that. Certainly if you've gone through a really bad patch and you've deranked, 1 or 2 ranks, and you go, okay, it'll take me 10 minutes to get all of this back. And then you go, and you really struggle because you have to play at a different speed, a different mindset, and it's really hard.
It's like you say, it's the different mindset. You've trained yourself to have the standard sort of responses and reactions, and Rocket League is one of those fast games that you do need a certain amount of muscle memory / reaction / instantly knowing how to approach a situation. But when that is completely mistrained for the team that you're going against, I think that's why it's interesting to see how the pro teams constantly match up against each other in the meta. It's not just mechanical skills at that stage, it's how you approach the match, which often has a big change and a big effect on the finale, or the result at least.
All right, so it looks like we have 2 teams in the party. I'm just trying to find out what team went through. What was the result of Deviants? So it looks like the Deviants went through from the other match. And they won 2-0. And that should have been 3-0 because it wasn't a best of 3. Okay, good. All right, let's get back into it. Let's turn that off. So we are ready. So this is now going to be round 2. Deviants versus GSE. Deviants winning their matchup 3-0, as did Atomic Sports. So I think we'll have a much closer matchup now with the Deviants up against Atomic Esports.
Deviants versus Atomics is going to be a good game.
It's going to be a
We have seen
very
both of those
good
guys
game.
on stream before, and both teams are one of those, level 2 teams in South Africa where they're not sitting at the finales, but they're always getting consistently to, the semi-finals or the quarterfinals and playing against it, and then only being taken out by the top 1 or 2 teams in South Africa.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everybody's in. Let's set this lobby up and roll. Maz, welcome. Huge is in the chat. Garrett Nevote. Yunker, a lot of support for GSE in the chat. I hope they're not too disappointed with their team leaving. I did think they put on a stellar showing. They came out there, they put up a fight, and I hope and I am sure we'll see them again.
I want to see these guys again. It's sort of new teams that we want to see coming in, and they've got the skills. We see Eugen coming in. Eugen, Darth, and Empty Promises making up IVE Deviants versus Atomic, who we just saw of Carl, Creamy, and Casper. Eugen now the only one sporting that Grand Champion banner.
All right, this is going to be a corker. And they're off. Atomic again in blue. Deviants are orange.
Well, nice setup coming out from Creamy. They're looking for Carl, and they're going to have to make sure that they get those passes together.
Oh!
Dead Darth being the one to get first blood 11 seconds in.
But what a great little team play. Empty Promises high up in the air. Darth reading that beautifully straight down. And an early lead for the Deviants. Wow, Atomic going to have their work to do here.
That was actually a great counterplay. It was very, very quick coming out from Empty Promises to get that pressure the other way around. Both Carl and Creamy had dedicated for that first one, looking for that cross-field play, the cross-field pass. And so it meant they were both very far out of position. And Empty Promises took it up high, took it up off the wall, managed to get the pass into the center. And now Eugen looking for the shot. Casper instead going to find it this time. Still not over. Oh, okay. A little bit off target there. All right, so Eugen now going to keep the pressure going now. Ball going all the way to the blue side. It's definitely orange team to time to put on some pressure against them. Now that one nearly fine in the back of Eugen instead. Empty Promise is going to put it up, and Darth going to find it 3 times and not once getting into the back of the net.
And unusually, Atomic looking a little unorganized in defense, a little bit panicked, a little bit rushed.
I don't think that they're used to this sort of pace after that last game where they didn't really have to worry about their defense that much, especially in the first 2 games. They played very aggressively, they played very scatteredly, and so I don't think that they are calibrated yet towards a team who's going to put on pressure against them here. But that'll come with time, you know. It's a minute and 30 in here. It takes a little bit longer than that to warm up, but I'm sure they're already starting to play a little bit more.
Yeah, I think coming out of their last games is a sort of an adjustment in terms of speed and pace and skill of the game, and it clearly looks like it's taken them now nearly 2 minutes to sort of readjust and get there and get calibrated. Carl now pushing it a little bit high and wide. Casper floating it up in front. No one to follow up though. Empty Promises will carry it out, but only as far as Creamy.
Nice defense coming out from Creamy, trying to put that on. Now it's going to be Casper. He's put a long, high shot going in. Going to get the second touch. Eugen does well, but instead pops it up into the center. Instead, Darth going to be left to fend that off to the side as it drops down harmlessly. And bit of counterplay. Both these teams starting to get the counterplays up, right?
Oh!
And, Eugen finding the net, but Creamy instead managing to sift it out.
The read from Creamy was amazing.
Great read. You know, that was in. That was 100% in. Eugen deserved that goal. Instead, Creamy just coming off the crossbar to find it.
All right. Well, Atomic has definitely got themselves together. They're looking like a threatening force up front, as are the Deviants. So now it sort of feels more like the matchup we were expecting before this started.
Definitely. Empty Promises. Lots of nice cross-field passes coming out, though, from the Deviants. Managing to get a lot of balls towards the center, not managing to find too many bumpers yet to put a shot in. Eugen just the one shot there, and then obviously the first goal coming out from Darth. But again, up very high. Casper's got a difficult goal to save now. Pops it up high, and Carl, great rotations coming out. Nice defensive teamwork from the side of Atomic Esports.
And I'm not sure that Casper had the boost. The last time I saw, he was on 0 boost, so he was under a lot of pressure to get that save.
Makes it even more impressive then, because you got to make something like that happen. Creamy's now pushed it up and towards the center, has knocked Empty Promises, but Darth going to be the one to fend it off. Still pressure coming out though onto the side of Deviants and Orange now. Casper going to get a little touch out here, pops it down towards the center. Eugen wasn't set up, but does recover fast enough to make the contest.
No, the pace is good, the aggression is good, but a lot of sort of standard Rocket League match, sort of back and forth, boom it one way, boom it the other way. Both teams now struggling to find an opening in each other's defense.
I'm loving the amount of teamwork coming out from both of these sides, though. We see a lot of them passing off to each other. You see very few of them really dribbling it. They get an attempt, even if they can only get it past one defender. There's another defender waiting. Instead, Eugen going to find it. Denied last time by Creamy. This time makes no mistake.
I'm not sure. Carl might have been a little too deep in the goal. No, he just misread that. It doesn't look like he got his second jump right, and he just flew right under it.
Slow reaction led to, unfortunately, not a great attempt at a save, but so that's 2 goals coming out, and that's exactly what you want with only 30 seconds left. 1 goal would have been enough, considering there hasn't been any success coming out from the blue attack, but this could be a third. Darth, no, this is going to turn around. This is definitely
Carl, he can't get on. And Casper missing the redirect. Oh, that was desperately close. That could have made the last 15, 18 seconds pretty damn exciting.
Yeah, we've seen Carl do it with 15 seconds left, so that would have definitely opened it up for an opportunity, and they can carry it for a long time, but not managing to find their opportunities in this game, and so the first game is going to go to IBE Deviants.
IBE Deviants taking first blood in this best of 5. At least 2 more games to come. Atomic, I think, are going to come out fighting, and I think at this point I wanted to mention at the start of the stream, but now's a good time just to talk about how amazing local Rocket League is right now. This week we had the Momentum Gaming Series on Saturday. Tonight, Raving Mad Gamerz putting on this show. Wednesday again, the 4th ACGL, the Triple Threat tournament on Wednesday, and then on the weekend, Metal State coming up with a tournament. It is awesome, and all of these tournaments being supported well. So I'm really pumped with what's going on in Rocket League locally right now.
Definitely. Shout out to all the players who are making it happen. Obviously, these tournaments wouldn't be held if they weren't being filled. And considering for the last 2 or 3 weeks now, we've had, 32 teams in that ACGL massive tournament. And then, every one of these other tournaments has gone through it. Oh! What a beautiful flip reset! He actually got it!
Wow, I got it.
Darth just beat out everyone with this one. Look at this. Sets it there, holds it forever, and then the late flick.
Oh my goodness. And right there is why I'm not a grand champion yet. Oh dearie me. That was amazing. Very well played. And Deviants are pushing hard. They've been aggressive. They've taken an early lead with a 1-game advantage already.
Very nice by them. Still a lot of work to do. So, yeah, shout out to all the players in the Rocket League scene who are coming out and starting to make these tournaments work. And also, big ups to all of the tournament producers. We've got 4 now, I think it is. Yeah, 4 different companies hosting tournaments this week, in a week. And that's fantastic. The fact that there are these grounds to play the Rocket League that we want to see. The amount of exposure it's giving the players. Just amazing Rocket League growth in South Africa in the last couple of months especially.
That's magnificent stuff, and long may it continue, and I just want to see this community grow from strength to strength. But in the meantime now, Deviants have the advantage. Atomic Esports trying to find an answer to the relentless pressure coming from the Deviants. Darth now trying to pull off another miracle shot. He's not going to get there. What do Atomic do now? Casper pushing it forward. He misses, and his teammate having to retreat back.
Nice hit by Carl. Now this could be dangerous. Creamy is up. He's going to find the backboard read. It should come straight down. And he was there underneath it, trying to find it. Casper going a little bit prematurely on his jump. Carl's going to take the long shot, though. Good clearing out by Eugen.
Creamy.
That's what it takes to be a GC, is those sort of backboard clears.
And Creamy just loves the backboard. That's going to be Empty Promises with his first goal.
Where was this rotation coming out there? Carl put it, and then Casper turning the wrong way to get that boost. If he had managed to come the right way around in the loop, he could have got there in time, but good opportunities coming out, and Empty Promises seeing that the net was open and taking all the time in the world that he needed.
All right, Atomic need to reconsider this. Reconsider where they are. Casper will get the return. No, he won't. Wow, how did that not go in?
Carl had the shot there. But good play coming out there. And you see, even if he has to make a desperate save, Darth almost reading that completely and letting that go in. And even when you see a desperate save coming out where it drops in front of the goals, look how quickly there's another player rotating around. And that's where Deviants is winning this game, is that they are playing the better team game. I don't think that there's any distinguishable difference between the players and the way that they're playing individually in this game, but the teamwork is what's carrying them to, so far, a 1-game victory. But with 2 goals in it and half the match left to go, certainly looks like Deviants are doing the work.
Yeah, the linking up of the players, and each knowing where they've got to be, and understanding what your teammate's going to do and positioning yourself right. But opportunity now for Atomic. What do? Empty will clear it via the corner. Does quite well. Carl can't get the block on that. Creamy's the third man back. All right, bit of back and forth now. But Carl, is there any backup and support for him here? Creamy now.
Empty Promises. Good clears coming out now. Darth is there to find it. He's going to find Empty Promises. Both of the orange players coming out now, though. And if Creamy can make something offensive happen in the center, Not able to, though. Just not managing to turn around the pressure yet is the Atomic Esports side. They've got a chance here. Casper pops it out towards the center, but again, it becomes an orange attacking opportunity.
All right, a minute and a half they've got left to level things up, and that's going to be even harder. 3 goals, empty promises with his second.
Yeah. You can't throw 8 or 9 balls out of your half and have them return to you straight away. Just volleyed at your goals eventually. And every single one of the orange opportunities, the Deviants just put 2 people towards it. It was a great passing play. It was a good offensive teamwork exercise. And they were able to get it eventually. The first couple of times they didn't manage to read those passes. But when you got 10 shots, then you only have to do it once.
Oh,
Be another one.
This Deviants team are looking so dangerous.
There we go. Yeah, promises up. He's got this. He's got this.
It's going wide.
Promises, you let me down.
The promise was empty. Eugen. That's contagious. 1 minute remaining. 3 goals for Atomic. It seems a mountain to climb. I'm not sure they can do it. But if they are, they need one now. Casper! Can't get there.
Jeez. That was a sneaky bit of defensive play coming from empty promises. He actually went under his car to ride up the wall and cut in before him. So lovely play coming out there. And just definitely Deviants looking like a devastatingly strong team tonight.
They're looking amazing. I'll see how... And it's a bit of a tough tournament. Just a reminder there that it's not double elimination, so it's sort of instant knockout, which is a bit brutal. So you only get the chance to cock up once.
Yeah. The nice thing is it is a best of 5, and so this is Deviant.
Oh!
Hey, Casper, first goal we've seen. From
Casper with their goal there, but it's probably too little, too late.
Oh, definitely. We're 12 seconds. Good luck.
Come on!
This is a pinch goal or the first goal, and then a carry forever.
A pinch goal and a clutch goal.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Nope.
Here comes Eugen. Definitely not now. Eugen with the insta response.
That was lovely. Nice little touch. Follow it up. One more touch. And you can see that came out from a pure aggression coming from the Atomic Esports. They had to make something happen quickly, and it turned around. And so that is going to be IVE Deviants taking our second match.
But so good to see Atomic a great team. Deviants looking like a devastating team. And then we have sort of the reigning teams of Ascendance and XD. But this looks great. With all this Rocket League going on, there's great possibilities coming with these other teams who are in the coming weeks, the coming months, are going to start to challenge and threaten those teams, those 2 teams sitting at the top, which I cannot wait to see.
Oh, I can't wait to see it either, I must admit. It's nice to see these different teams coming through here. And Deviants is looking strong tonight, I have to admit. They have taken out now Atomic Esports, so they are going to be in our finals, in fact. Innovation, Ascendance. Let's refresh this bracket and see exactly where we are at. There we go. So Deviants has taken out Atomic Esports in 2 of their games so far. IVE Ascendance versus Meme Team on the other side, and the way Deviants is playing so far, they could take on either of those teams. If they manage to put these sort of passes together consistently and make them count, they could take on both of those teams.
Well, Meme Team have beaten Team Fusion 3 games to nothing, so they're going to be awaiting the winner of Ascendance and NOS.
So far, every game tonight, out of the first round, was a 3-0 victory, and we're setting up now with 2-0 towards the side of Deviants. I don't know why I keep wanting to put an F in there. Defiance. Deviants are setting up to carry on with that progression that we have seen tonight. But as we get closer to the finals, obviously you expect to see slightly more tighter competitions. And Atomic Esports is not a bad team. We saw them playing very well in the last one. I just feel that they're not taking the opportunities that they're making for themselves yet. We've seen a couple of open goals that just haven't been finished.
Well, I think their first priority now is don't concede and then get a lead. And commentators are famous for saying ridiculously obvious things, but there you have it.
Well, let's be fair. That
Oh,
is exactly
no. And it's not
Hang
what
on,
happens.
My game is frozen again. Great, I didn't join.
Ah.
Every time.
Oh,
Every
okay.
time. I have not joined the game.
Well,
Like
please do as soon as possible. In the meantime, Deviants have taken a 1-goal lead on the stroke of 1 minute. Cole now with a shot. It's going to hit the backboard. Empty Promises will get the touch and push it away. Creamy now bangs it right back. Darth is going to have to touch this out, but Creamy again gets in a block. Here comes wee Casper. Eugen wins the 50, but it's still in the Deviants half. Creamy pops it up. All right, this is better now from Atomic. Sustained attacks, but almost. Oh, holy moly! Deviants on the counter, almost taking their second.
Oh man, these are good shots coming out there. Empty Promises just north of goal. Now Eugen just pushing it off to the side, and two good shots, two powerful and dangerous shots coming out so far from them already in that turnaround, and that was just a couple of seconds. And again, when the pressure comes the other way, when the blue team starts to take a shot, Atomic cannot find the back of the net. There's always just someone rotating solidly into defense.
Okay, Creamy now with an opportunity. He's going to push it way wide.
And we Casper just not as fast as Empty Promises. Empty is on the wall there constantly looking for it. Now we got another person on the wall there. Now it was Darth trying to push it down and Eugen following up. And as the rotations come out, this could be the first attempt here.
There we
nice
go.
pass comes to the side and Carl finishing it off.
Now that was a very nice piece of team play. Creamy spotting Cole, rushing up on the right-hand side, putting it to him. Cole with a fantastic on-the-ground redirect, banging it at 109. Well executed. This game is level. Now, hopefully we will see what we were hoping to see from this matchup. Tight games, close games.
Yeah, it's what they had to do. It's exactly, and it was a good heads-up play to push it to the side. They was never going to be able to take the shot himself, and that's exactly what they do. And Empty Promises instead now going to test Carl out. Nice little bit of reverse driving coming out to turn it the other way, and ooh, that touch could have nearly been dangerous. This one isn't a great attempt by Empty Promises. Carl instead putting it the wrong way, pushing it back towards his teammate. Not working out, and Eugen's going to be up for a challenge.
Oh!
Oh, just not finding enough on that. Eugen up dangerously, and Carl actually trying to go down for it. We Casper making such an attempt.
But not to be. Atomic on now on the precipice of a 3-0 sweep in round 2 of this Raving Mad Gamerz Lockdown Series tournament.
I must admit, I didn't expect to see Atomic ever go 3-0 down. I thought that they would contest hard on this. It's not over yet, but definitely not living up to the standards that IVE Deviants is demanding of them tonight.
And just
could be an interesting touch.
Oof. All right, can they formulate a coordinated, like they did with that first goal, link up with one another, a little bit of a passing play, and get this game leveled again? Give themselves at least a fighting chance to take this into a fourth game. Empty Promises with a shot, not a very hard one, going wide. That could have been disaster for Atomic at this stage.
Don't like how much this blue team is diving, hey? They're going for the offensive opportunities, and you've got players like Darth who's just baiting that out a little bit, and it ends up wasting your boost and really damaging your position as you go forwards. And sometimes that's all it takes, is that one player overlap. You take 2 shots, you save 2 goals, and then there's just happens to be a third player for the offensive side. That's all it takes.
Well, Deviants without a doubt got the measure and the read of the Atomic side right now. But there's only 1 goal in it, so as long as it's 1 goal, you always feel like you're 1 shot away.
Yes, this could be it. Casper and Creamy, they're actually behind the ball, trying to get a redirect, but neither of them was able to play goalkeeper enough to, or at least enforcer enough. That was a big commit onto the wall, but Casper doing well enough to drag it down, and instead Empty Promises.
Oh, dangerous now. Enough of a touch that Darth can't get there. Casper gets it past Eugen, but not Empty Promises. 10 seconds to go. Deviants have this game by the throat. They have this series by the throat. Darth just letting the time run out. Carl, not to be, but it's not down yet. Casper's popping it up. Empty promises will cut it out. Oh, Carl. Ooh, that looked dangerous at 0 seconds, but that is it. That is done. Orange, Deviants have taken this. They will move to the Lockdown Series final. And then I just want to get some clarity in the chat. I see there's a bit of a chat going on about the tournaments coming up, and there's reference to a twos tournament on Thursday. Is that something that's happening?
I haven't heard about that. That would be cool.
It sounds amazing. Scott Jeffrey making that comment. I don't know if I've misread it, so please clarify. Would love to know what that's all about. But in the meantime, so an update from the other side. Meme Team beat Fusion 3-0, as I said during that last game. So they're moving to round 2. So we're going to take, and now I'm looking for the result of Ascendance versus NOS. Oh, okay. Ascendance won. So Ascendance will now take on the Meme Team in round 2. So as soon as that lobby is set up, I'm sure we will be invited to that game so we can follow it and have a look.
Going to be a very interesting team there. I'm trying to see if I can figure out. In the past, Deviants actually beat Meme Team 3-2. That's one of the interesting results. So Deviants is going to be a threatening team for Meme Team there at the end. Meme Team have taken on other teams such as RK Hatchlings, which they beat 3-0. Clapham Junction, who they went down 3-1 to. Clapham being an incredibly good team here as well, though. Salvage Proficiency managing to take 3 games off Meme Team.
Well, that was some time ago.
And
all right, I'm just inviting you to this new party.
Great.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so just waiting for. I think we have. This is Meme Team. So and here comes Ascendance. So let's change team names. Ascendance versus Meme Team. Oh, I'm the new party leader. Okay, well, how's Wasteland then? They're letting me set up this match.
You're gonna get lynched by chat again.
Okay, well, it's if I'm the party leader, it's either Neo Tokyo or Wasteland.
But like, I'm talking old school Neo Tokyo with
with the red.
Like that. Yes, that's how we gotta play this finals.
Okay. Oh my goodness! Come on, guys. Okay, so they're crying, so it's gonna be Manfield. Play private match. Create private match. Manfield it is. Party only. No mutators as far as I know. Create match. Let's do the thing. All right, everybody's here. Excellent. So this is the second of the round 2 matches. The winner of this will go on to play Deviants in the final.
Meme Team, Bread and Mr. Dragon and Patient Zero. Patient Zero is always known by a different name. I think it was just called Zero last time, but
yeah, I think he's generally Zero. Mr. Dragon and Brad. So here we go. Ascendants are orange. Meme Team are blue. This is game 1. And away they go.
Alright, so this should be interesting. We should see a lot of aerial play. This is the first time we're going to see Falliser and his boys tonight, and we have seen a lot of them recently. You know, certainly proving their names in the Rocket League scene in South Africa. They constantly do well at tournaments. Pretty much the only team to really beat them so far in South African Rocket League is XD. But other than that, Meme Team has also been a team that has every week shown consistent promise. They've shown great play. They've come out at least in the quarterfinals of every showdown that we've seen them in so far, and nearly making it that time to draw first blood.
Nearly getting the early advantage there. That would have been something.
Oh, they would have needed that, though. I think that would have been a big play towards what they needed to do in this game. They're already set up for a dangerous contest, chat. This one could be dangerous now instead.
But yeah, Meme Team, another one of those up-and-coming teams that I think are going to be big on the Rocket League scene in the time, in the weeks and months ahead, I think.
You know, there are so many teams like that, and that's why I say it's the fact that these guys are consistently performing at a high level that gives me such hope about them. And as they start to learn these new teams, they start to get the hang of the passing plays or the pace of the teams who are sitting at the top and have been in the scene for a long time. They're going to just get better and better, and I think that they're going to improve faster than our top teams and narrow that gap even further every week.
And it's also what's great about all these tournaments going on is just that there's more and more opportunity for these teams to face each other, because every time Meme Team play Ascendants, they get a better sense of what the team's like, what they have to improve, how they can be more threatening to them in the next game, and so the more they play, the more that gap will narrow. Oh my goodness, that was so close. So if all of these tournaments continue, I think we're in for some outstanding Rocket League, and I cannot wait.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Every week that you get it, and that's why I say is they're going to be learning so much, and that's why I appreciate how much work these tournament organizers are doing to make tournaments like this available for all the players, and I hope that they appreciate it too. Now we see Fallister setting himself up for a shot. He's got a very high clear. Patient Zero drops it down instead. Does manage to get that second touch, and it's onto Bread's head. Now Bread has a good opportunity. Fended off by good rotation though.
All right, well, more than half the game going, and no team is dominating here. There's opportunities for both. Oh, the play is scrappy and it's physical.
Scrappy is definitely the way to describe this. Both teams going for very big plays, going for solid and confident attacks, and being fended off with just as much confidence, but... Oh, that was nearly dangerous. Skill Steal was looking for the bump. I think it was Skill Steal there. As Fallister was lining up for the shot, he tried to take out the last defender, and now it's going to be
booming shot. Oh, Fallister putting it down beautifully for Shadow, who can't quite get there. And the Meme Team, a little bit thin at the back there, to scramble back. But they get away with it for now. Do they have an opportunity of their own? They might through Mr. Dragon, bringing it down. Shadow misses his clear. Patient Zero finishing it off. And they do take the lead finally after 3.5 minutes.
Oh, that was lovely. That was a dangerous shot into the top right-hand corner. And it baited out one of the defenders. And it meant that that ball coming off at such an angle towards the center there is so difficult as the defenders to read. You also don't want to, at that stage, jump up, get it wrong, and put it into your own goals. I've seen that a couple of times from angles like that. And so they tried their hardest, and it was just an incredibly well set up play there. Good pressure coming out from Bread as he pushed up there. Didn't manage to get the boost, but did buy enough space for Mr. Dragon to get a great pass in towards the center. And so a nice team play coming out, and it's nice to see what this Meme Team can do.
And I love Skill Steal, still rocking the big foam Mexican hat. Skill Steal! Well,
this could be interesting. He does get the touch here, and it's going to be last defender, so Skill Steal is going to be able to put it towards the center. And
no one there to follow it up, though.
Across. That was the best opportunity that they've had this match, and they haven't found it yet, but we do know that this team is not always a team that has to rely on long built-up plays or three-man plays. All three of these players are able to play amazingly on their own. They're able to bait out 2 or 3 defenders and turn a game around very, very quickly. They're going to have to, though. With only 25 seconds left, they don't want to be dropping down the first game against a team like this. They are in my opinion, the favorites for this competition, but not by a lot. And so a single game here, which is looking what it is. This is their last opportunity. Shadow is going to be up. He's going to try and find skill steal. Not managing to find anything yet. And the ball trickles down to the orange side, meaning that Meme Team is going to be...
Oh!
Oh, Brad!
With the last second own goal.
This shouldn't have been a thing, but it was...
But it is, but that is the end of game one. And Meme Team, a bit against, I guess, a slight upset taking game number one. But it is only game number one, a best of 5, which is nice. The best of 3s always seem a little bit rushed. So there is time now for Ascendants to get it together and come back.
You know, the first game doesn't always give you the impression that you need of how the two teams are facing off against each other. IVE still has a good shot to come back, but I am happy to see Meme Team. You know, we talk all the time about the growth of the players in South Africa and how every one of these tournaments is helping them out. Meme Team's just showed it off.
Yep.
They just took a 2-0 game against IVE Ascendants, arguably the second best team in South Africa. So to beat them there, and granted the second goal was last second own goal.
Yeah.
They held them off. They didn't put down a single goal to one of the most offensively strong teams.
Oh,
and now
my
it's
word, I know.
Early long shot coming out, and they still want to keep on this momentum.
Great pass from Skill Steal. Shadow taking a pretty much a very risky gamble that he could get there for a shot. Misses it, leaving their goal completely exposed. And very quickly, they're behind.
Very quickly, you know, that's not what you'd expect. And that was a long goal. You know, it was a very early play. And so it means that everyone from their team pushed up quite aggressively on the kickoff.
Oof.
And yes, nice shot coming in from Patient Zero. Beautiful pass towards the center, and Phallus having to do an extraordinary bit of goalkeeping to keep that out.
And it's something we don't talk about much, which doesn't get spoken about much, but it has to be a factor, is, as in with any sport, you have players who just have terrible days. You know, like we all do. And so I think the level of Rocket League is getting to the point now that, you know, 1 or 2 players in a team having a slightly off day, and a team like Meme Team can come and override them and take it.
Definitely. You know, the level of Rocket League at the top level here in South Africa is starting to close down to such a point that it's not even just one team that you need to worry about. You might be having a bad day or a bad game and be able to get away with it once or twice. But there are enough dangerous teams. Now, Patient Zero.
What a finish.
Beautiful turn. Look at this pass coming from Breda from midfield, reading it off the wall here. Pops it up into the perfect position and reads it and manages to find it through 3 people. They're all sitting in goals.
Well, Meme Team, the team that are coming up with all the plays right now, they're the ones being inventive, being innovative, finding a way through a normally very solid defense where the Deviants are, I mean, they're pushing forward, they're putting pressure, but not finding the finish. And maybe it is a day where, you know, Shadow or Skill Steal, one of them not having a great time, and they just miss on those link-ups. And we're at the point now where the margins for error are so small that that's all it can take for a team like Meme Team to now suddenly be in the final, having beat Ascendants. I mean, look, there's still a lot of time for Ascendants to come back, but the possibility is there.
You know, IVE Ascendants is one of these teams that excels on a lot of finesse plays. They play very difficult shots.
Oh!
This is not a difficult shot, though. Shadow shutting that down very quickly. Just not a good clear coming out there. Phallus are popping it very high.
Oh, double commit.
Yeah.
And not requiring a lot of finesse. Just a short-nosed bludgeon into an open net.
Brilliant. Good opportunity there for them, and they did capitalize on it. You know, he really...
Oh! And he beat... Oh! Oh! Oh, that...
man, they would have been smiling if they managed to get that one.
Oh, but Skill Steal now! Oh, my word.
That looks like a little bit of life. Now Phallus with an opportunity. He reads those normally very, very well, just going above the crossbar and overshooting it instead. And good pressure still coming out, though. This is not done just yet. And
no, they're...
Phallus, Skill Steal, and Shadow all pushing up very high.
Has been their most sustained period of pressure. Oh! And now the kill from Skillsteal, looking to follow Bread. Gets it just past Skillsteal to alleviate the immediate pressure.
Very nicely coming out from them. They did a long bit of pressure there, and instead the meme team were managing to hold on to it. A couple of close calls, but they did all the work that they needed to. They've managed to hold on to that lead of theirs, and they managed to tick down the clock for another minute. And Fellas are trying for the bump at the end there, but he had 3 people to try and bump out the way. I don't know if he was going to get through that. And still, good pressure coming out there. They've certainly turned their mentality around in this game.
All right, Skillsteal with no boost, trying to get it forward. Picks up 1 or 2 pads. Can't do much with it. But here they come through Shadow, but cleared by Bread.
And now it's going to be turned around. Bread's going to have another opportunity. Much more aggressive rotations coming out from both sides. And it does mean that they have to very quickly rotate backwards, and we're seeing a lot of backwards rotations coming out. Ooh, Patience Zero nearly getting that one wrong. Bread with the long shot actually does going to have it on target. Falliser, no, it was going just wide. Falliser making sure just in case.
Just having a look here. Ascendance now with 8 shots on goal to 4 from Meme Team.
And yet Meme Team's winning. Just a great job in defense there. That one should have been capitalized on there. Falliser is normally very good at reading it onto the backboard and even getting the double touches himself. He puts it in good positions near the center of the backboard where it's easy for his team to follow up with. And I feel like his accuracy on those backboard setups today hasn't been what they should be. And it makes it difficult for the team to follow up when you're just not getting those consistent passes. A team that relies on good passes like that consistently. And Bread could actually have an opportunity. Doesn't have the boost to follow it though.
And the frustration builds with every attack that doesn't materialize. And as you hit the crossbar, the side post, the last second save, it's like, what do we have to do to get through? But they have to do this with a lot more precision. And now they have 8 seconds to do something, or they're going 2 games behind.
This could be it. There we go. Taps it down. Patient Zero is going to push it up into the roof. It'll be difficult.
Is there one more chance here? No! It's going to land now. And Meme Team, 2 games up.
2 games up. Must admit, I wouldn't have put money on that in the beginning, but so far every game has gone 3-0, which means that Meme Team is just 1 game away from seeing this finals.
Well, listen, beating Ascendance is one thing. Beating them in a sweep? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you made that point about you get that mentality of what do I have to do to get it past these guys? And I think the big problem is that you got to realize sometimes just a good attack doesn't work out. Not every perfectly crafted attack and perfectly executed attack is going to get you a goal. You can put together a beautiful passing play and someone on the other team is just going to be in the right position or with a lucky save or something like that, or it's just minutely off on a crossbar. And I feel that a lot of teams, when they're not getting those goals, when they're putting together such amazing plays and the goals aren't working out, they don't try it again. They try to do better. They try to do slightly more aggressive plays, slightly more risky plays, and you can end up going too far in the other direction, where you don't have to play that sort of high-level, high-risk, high-reward plays. If you just keep on with that consistency that you've been doing, you can get the goals, and I think that's what Meme Team has been doing.
This has got to be it now. Oh no, how did they miss?
Twice.
Nobody in the net for 2 shots, and neither player can get it in.
Indeed, and instead it's coming around the other way now. Meme Team is on the offensive, a minute in, and it has been IVE's Ascendant's attacking game. But again, the attacking game hasn't been working out for them. They have been on attack for most of this matchup, and they just haven't come away with them.
But Shadow might not be having a great day, because he's normally incredibly prominent in the offense, in the attack. This is so dangerous now.
Here it goes. Oh, come on. No? Good attempt, good defense coming out though, just not managing to put it down. And now it's going to be interesting to see if they can get something out of this.
What can he do?
Steal.
Not hard enough.
Not hard enough.
Couldn't get enough leverage on it to put any power there.
Yeah, he had to go straight up there, to be fair. Like, that was a very high shot from him, and he was pushed up into midfield, so he wasn't able to really get any sort of momentum behind it. And so he got the good accuracy. He did the best with what he had, but it's still not finding the back of the net. Now Fallis is going to be able to take a long shot, find and kill, steals Skill steal instead. Brett again just denying them.
Still skill.
Still skill. Commentating is hard sometimes. Give me a break.
All right, I got asked to put my microphone down. I see that was half an hour ago, so I hope I haven't been annoying everybody for the last 30 minutes with my loud mic.
That's fine. They've got some hearing loss now, and now you're at a normal level. They just can't hear me anymore, so... Alright, Fallister looking for a shot now. Does make an attempt. It is popped off there. Instead, Bread's going to be the one to finish it off. Shadow shutting it down so his team's got a bit of time. Is going to find skill steal, fix it up very high. Fallister looking for this one.
There we go!
They finally get the back of the net. Great little team pass coming out now.
Everybody involved in that shot. Yeah.
But that was a commitment, eh? That was a big commitment. Fallister was the last man back by a long way. No one had boost. No one had speed going backwards. And if he hadn't have got that, could have very easily gone the other way. But finally, they get off the desperation shots. And after 2.5 minutes, you would not expect to see this much relief, I think, from a single goal.
Yes. All right, so now... don't concede and get more. That's the solid theory. But now Mr. Dragon with the shot. The demo by Zero right in front of the goal, opening it up.
Patience Zero. Yeah, look at that. That was an aggressive play. He was last man back, and instead of going and holding that patience for this extra shot, he just confirmed. He was like, there is no one else who could possibly get this. If I can make this work. And no one expects it to come at a 45-degree angle like that at that pace.
He had zero patience, and it paid off.
That's amazing. He's definitely made skill steal there, patience zero after smacking him around.
All right, but here come the Ascendance team. Popped up by skill steal. Fallister not quite there enough for him to get a shot in.
Honestly, you got to worry a little bit about IVE Ascendant's mentality right now. When you've worked so hard after 3 games to get a single goal, and the other team manages to turn around with a demo.
Yeah.
To level up the series when they've got a 2-game lead, that's got to do something across to your trigger levels.
But a lot of Rocket League is mental, and this is something I'm discovering every single day. And if you skill steal! Great shot! Now there's the skill steal we've come to admire and love.
Turns and he just like rotates on the spot and barely moves more than like 10 yards.
Fantastic work. Nicely done. Ascendants for the second time in the game have taken a lead.
Really nice. Now Bread's looking for an offensive opportunity. Shadow gets up quickly though. Still has a lot of boost, so he's able to rotate around. Good shot coming out. He was the doctor first time with the surgical precision, and this time he's the hammer, just smashing it in above Fallister. And they tried to set up for a desperate attempt and leveling the series. So
they're not hanging on to their lead.
Up to IVE.
Yeah,
it's going to be up to IVE. They're going to have to just keep working and keep putting those goals in the back. I think the longer this game goes on, the more it's going to go towards the meme team mentality.
All right, but here come Ascendants again with more pressure. Skill still up and great finish. Wow, that's been 2 superb goals. Great work from Shadow to bring it in and then pop it in for a second attempt at a pass. Lovely finish from Skill Steal. Above the crossbar, bringing it down.
Lovely pace there. You know, it came across quickly and he was in the air like a flash, and he was there. Had his rotations right, knew exactly what he was doing that entire time. Good control from him, and it's interesting to see that that's the level that we're starting to have to get to for these guys. It's the Dragon now with the demo again on Skill Steal.
But Ascendants now, they've conceded, they've lost their lead fairly quickly both times. Now they've got to hang on. They've got to, I think, transition and start thinking about how do we keep this out.
And they've got an opportunity
now.
No!
Oh,
Patience Zero!
Patience Zero is being dynamite for the meme team right now.
Amazing. Great pass coming out there from Bread, though, actually. I think Mr. Dragon could have messed up there. I wonder if he was trying to just get out of the way of that ball. But
would have been
good play from them coming out.
Would have been interesting to hear the chat. Got it! Got it! Got it!
Gotta choose. And you know, the problem is, at that stage, there's no way you're reacting in time. Even if you miss the dragon, you're not listening to the got it. You're going for that shot if you are making that attempt.
It's all instinct and aggression, and it's going to bounce. We're in our first overtime for this particular series. Let's go. 3-all.
Got a picture of the IV Ascendance guys just wiping their hands off their controllers for half a second.
Oh, there it is. Skill steal with his third.
MVP of this match.
I was just thinking that the great thing about overtime for Ascendance is they've taken the lead for the 4th time in this game, but at least now they don't need to defend it. It's all over. Yeah. They get the win.
That one stuck. That one eventually stuck. So 2-1 is the lead still for Meme Team. IVESN is managing to pull it back. Still a lot of work for them to do. Can't afford to lose the next game. Got to do the reverse sweep, and against the team that they've had to fight so hard against in the last 3 games.
But this is our first game 4, I think.
Yeah, this is the first game 4 in the entire tournament. Every single other competition, every single other matchup was a 3-0 sweep, and so IVE maybe just a dead cat bounce there at the end, showing a little bit of life, but it is the turning of the tides.
Oh, what's happened here? We had someone leave. Someone's not in. Oh,
I think they're swapping sides. Are they on the right sides?
They are.
Is Meme Team supposed to be blue?
Indeed, they are.
Yes,
all right. So with a little bit of back and no, everyone's out. Not sure what happened there, but skill glitched is the message from Falliser.
All right. Yeah, that's been happening to me a lot.
Well, let's find out when he's ready. Shout when sorted. Okay, well that was more like what we've been expecting. Certainly weren't expecting Meme Team to take two games and Ascendance having to chase proceedings. But they've taken one back. That'll give them some confidence. They're actually getting their shots on target. Game number 2 was all about the crossbar, the crossbar, the post, the last second save, which denied them on a number of occasions, having outshot Meme Team by some distance, but not getting more goals than them. So I think going in, maybe they've sort of calibrated themselves enough to now be the Ascendance team we've come to expect.
Yeah. You know, every one of those games, IVE certainly put the pressure on, and it just felt like there in the last game, they were managing to finish off those goals. Skill steal with those 3 excellent finishes there. All of them in the air, all of them with great rotation, great positioning, just beautifully read in every single one, getting up and doing it, and getting to that ball before any defender could get in there. If it's anywhere near the defenders, I think they're doing a good enough job to be able to shut it out consistently. But these ones just came out. They really did click in that last game in a way that we didn't see in the first 2.
Well, they're going to have to do it again if they're to stay in this and go to the finals.
And then again after that.
Again and again.
Again. So,
all right, we are ready. Everyone has de-glitched themselves. They're good to go. Let's rock and roll.
League. Right.
Game 4.
Right, so Meme Team, I certainly don't think is feeling bad after that last defeat. I think that they will still be happy with the way that they played, and even the result. You know, they took it all the way to overtime. They were managing to get it back, and if they can get that defense up that they were managing to do so well in the last game, and just keep rotating, keep that pressure turning around. Bread had an opportunity there. A nice long shot would have done well. Not managing to find it though, and instead this one's going to come out. Aggressive play from both teams though. It's nice to see that they are both ready for this game.
Shadow putting it down in front. Skill steal with the backwards goal! Oh, he saw it coming. He stayed where he was. Put it wide of the last defender. Nicely done.
Oh, that Bread rotation. Bread just didn't land nicely in the goals and took a long loop around. I think if he had his car set up right, I mean, no one in the goals there was really set up. I mean, Skillsteel had to do that backwards. That's not a good clear. This could open up an opportunity now. Shadow's going to put it on the backboard. Skillsteel is there. Palliser is still waiting for this one. They've got the positional advantage. And coming out lightly, I think, was Meme Team.
Yeah, that could have been two quite easily. But here comes Bread now. Shadow and Skillsteel both up. It is cleared away. But here comes Patient Zero. Mr. Dragon having to push it back to his own net.
I was interested about that for a second. I had to check the colors.
Yeah.
Good long opportunity. Oh, Shadow leaving that one for fingertips before Mr. Dragon shut him down. And instead, Patient Zero is going to read this high. Brett is rushing in quickly.
Not a great clear from Shadow, but he's going to get... Oh, that's opened up. Oh. Scrambling black back were Meme Team to get that covered.
Man, that flick almost worked out, in fact. If he had gotten that, there was no way that anyone was getting to it. So, good opportunity coming out, and it's a lot of life we're seeing from this orange side. Oh, come on. No, Shadow. Just millimeters off the line. You saw the ball flashing and everything.
Shadow again with the pass, but Skillsteel's way beyond the halfway line, but Fallison bumps it up, and Patient Zero gets the clear.
You know, they were both so far back there, no one was able to follow up on Shadow's pass in the beginning. And I think I would have liked to have seen Fallis put a nice high shot on the backboard to set it up for his team. That soft little shot was never going to do anything. So, you know that you've got someone like Skillsteel next to you. Put that ball on the backboard and let that guy do magic.
Do his thing. Oh, Fallis!
Yeah, when it comes down at that angle, you've got such a lot of time to read this thing, and it's so impossible for the defenders to read this. Two people in goals, and neither of them could do anything. Even Mr. Dragon coming back desperately.
Love to see that control in the air, slowing himself down, getting himself into position, and finishing it off. Beautifully done.
Yeah, so Skillsteel now going to set up another attempt, and certainly more of the IVE ascendant side that we're used to seeing from these guys. 2 goals in, and they are certainly doing the more offensive opportunities here. Only 1 goal more than the Meme Team, but what shots there have been.
And Shadow seems to be the only player on Ascendant who's not quite been himself this game. Normally he's so prominent, he's so involved in the game. He's had great passes the last game, and this game, and Skillsteel has suddenly found himself these last 2 games and just putting on one hell of a show.
Not 100% sure why Falliser went up for that, to be honest. He didn't have the angle and he was last man back, so could have turned around the other way, but they're managing to make these plays right. You know, they are committing everything towards them, but it's working out. Falliser's now going to be dangerous. Off the backboard, going to come straight down. Good clear coming out from Mr. Dragon.
Boost steal and demo.
Well, this could turn around now. Mr. Dragon's got the open net. It is going to bounce.
Skillsteel
Gets a touch.
He gets enough on it. Wow. Oh, but it's still dangerous. Yeah, it's... Oh, no, Skillsteel does very well. And Shadow coming in to help.
Man, he was not in a comfortable position, and he still made it work out. He's got a touch.
Skillsteel with the demo. Can they take advantage? No, Mr. Zero. Patient Zero will cut it out. All right, Shadow. Can he get into the limelight now and be the Shadow, the threatening Shadow that it normally is? Oh, Skillsteel with a miss. A whiff in midfield. Gives an opportunity for Meme Team, but they don't make much of it. Oh, Shadow with a miss. So a little bit scrappy, a little bit of a Ascendant's having a bit of a moment here, but they haven't been punished yet. To give them opportunity to reset and get back to where they've been for most of this game.
Consistently dictating the pace of this match then. Mr. Dragon with an optimistic redirect opportunity, but not managing to find it. He and Mr. Dragon are now working up in this corner, and they're looking to make something happen, even if it's just for consolation goals. The momentum has certainly turned around, and now they're going to be starting to feel a little bit more worried. You know, you take 2 games against a good team like this, and you might start to get cocky, which will cost you against a team that will always capitalize on your mistakes.
Yeah, and that advantage, you know, the one slips away and you're like, oh, well, we still got the one game, we still got the advantage here. But now you start to go, okay, what do we need to do? And you start then you start thinking, and thinking can so often be your enemy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Overthinking things, you start overcommitting to things, you start trying things that you really just shouldn't be. And instead, oh, Falliser, really? He's wanting to get this all the way.
All right, and suddenly we are going to a game 5. It looked like Meme Team were going to run away with this after game 2, but Ascendants finding themselves in game 3, getting through to win that, and this one they dominated. They were in charge for the vast majority of game number 4.
Indeed. So, every other game was a clean sweep, and we did say that it would be optimistic to believe that Meme Team could sweep IVE. And instead of going from a sweep, we might be doing the reverse sweep now. 2 games so far to IVE Ascendants, and they're looking strong, especially Skill Steal. He's put together a couple of great plays on his own to come back and pull his team.
He has
kicking and screaming, actually, into this final match.
He has come through magnificently these last few games.
This could be a good opportunity setting up early here. This ball is going up. Falliser is going to be the one to read it. Mr. Dragon instead going to be the one to put it out towards the side. And now going to be cleared down. Long shots, but Shadow is there to fix it.
Your heart's got to be in your mouth if you're blue and you see Falliser coming over an aerial shot like that. But they did very well to defend.
As soon as I see that thing pop up, now Skill Steal is going to take the second shot. Nice read coming out from the defenders, not pushing up too far, but
the Ascendant's goal is open. Oh.
No, I'm so sad to see Meme Team there. They had 2 people following that up, and both of them pushed up. What pinch was
just happened?
Oh, what a play coming out. Falliser seeing Shadow coming up at pace and not able to get it himself. Instead,
you know what? That is such a great little team play there. Magnificently done, fantastically executed, and here they are in the lead now, looking like, Shadow!
Great save.
And I think that's Shadow's first goal, so maybe that'll get him back to where he wants to be.
Yeah. He's looking for more now, certainly pushing up aggressively. Falliser again in the air. He is going to miss this now, and Mr. Dragon getting his flip wrong. Reading it out the corner is difficult, of course, but that could have been an amazing opportunity for them, and considering this is the last game now, whoever wins this is going to go through to the finals to take on IVE Deviants.
And a couple of whiffs from a few people in Ascendants, which is unusual, and that can really unsettle things, but they seem to be getting themselves back. Falliser! Last desperate save by Bread.
Falliser had a lot of goal to aim at there, and managed to find Bread on the floor. Didn't have to make him work too hard, but that's because Falliser had to do so much work. He had to do so much, make up so much distance to get to that ball and take that shot. He did well, but Bread just did a little bit better instead. What a
great work. And I'm sure Falliser was going for the shot. I'm not sure he was looking to, I think he was rushed on that ball. He got to it a lot quicker, but did enough to put it to the corner where Shadow picked it up and finished it off.
So IVE take a 2-goal lead now, having pulled up from 2-0 down. This could be a Meme Team. No, dived in.
Nice work from Shadow to put it just out of reach.
Oh, that could be dangerous. That is it.
Oh, no, it's off the bar. And Shadow now suddenly coming with all the goals. 3 in this game after scoring none yet.
Brett's got to be feeling dirty about that pinch.
Yeah.
That came off him, and no one was happy.
And listen, and now all the luck's running with Ascendants. They're winning the 50s. The pinches are coming out for them. But with Shadow coming to the party now, that's devastating. With all 3 of the Ascendants team playing well, they're almost impossible to face.
Yeah, this is a different team than we saw in the first game. So it's nice to see that they're still here. Shake it off, get the hang of it, and especially if you've been playing a 3-0 sweep in your first game, you start to get a little bit cocky. We were talking about it earlier. This one's going to pop in towards the center. Skill Steal is going to be up there. It's going to be Falliser again, that high ball for him. Mr. Dragon managing to bait it out instead, though.
But you spoke about, after game 2, we were talking about the mental side of things and how much mentality plays a role in Rocket League. And the good teams can battle their way through the mental demons that plague you in situations like that, and fight their way out and come from 2 down to find themselves in a game 5.
I think that's what makes you a good team. It's not just mechanical skill. It's not even just game sense. It's in a best of 5, in a long tournament, against a good team. You cannot be psyching yourself up. That's going to put you down. That's going to throw your mechanics off. It's going to throw your rotations off. And they managed to pull it together. They really managed to come together. And it hasn't been a single person who's just come up dominating. Like you say, all 3 orange players are firing on all cylinders now. They're all managing to come to the party. And with 3-goal lead and a minute 20 left, you got to say that they shook their demons beautifully.
Now, it was amazing to see because it was, Falliser by and large is he's always so solid, but then to see Skillsteal in game number 3 to come back and put on the performance he did then, and then Falliser in the last game, and then now, finally in this 5th game, Shadow regaining himself, and there we go, Falliser not wanting to be left out of the party, scores a goal through Shadow, who's got to be the MVP of this game. Great pass to Falliser. Falliser makes no mistake, and now Ascendants they've got their boot on the throat and they're starting to press.
And this is the team that's going to give Deviants the run for their money. At the beginning of the game, if IVE Ascendants had won playing like they did in the beginning, Shadow, come on, that's 4 goals from. Ironically enough, now Skillsteal has not scored a goal this match after carrying that 3rd game. Hasn't scored a goal.
Yeah, but that's how it is, and I think part of what's making Ascendant so great is that one of them, there's enough going on in the team that they can make up for a temporary deficiency from one of their players, and then when they come together, and now Skillsteal doesn't have to do all the work. He can play his role. He can move into a support position and let Shadow take a bit of glory.
And that's the beauty of having 3 good players. That's why these good teams are here. You get some of the teams where you've got 2 enablers and a single good player, or a single, exceptional player who just carries them. And it does work. It really does. Until you match against a team with 3 amazing players. I mean, both Falliser and Skillsteal are grand champions, and Shadow's the one leading the scoring in this game.
Shadow himself a grand champion, but that is that, and the reverse sweep has been accomplished. Ascendants coming from 2 games behind to wrap this all up. Big congrats to them. They did magnificently, but Meme Team were steamrolling early on. A team to watch out for, a dangerous team, a team worth supporting, a team that I think we're going to see a lot more from as we go.
Oh man, I'm glad that they actually did so well in this matchup. I would have liked to have seen them take that, to be honest. They did all the work that they needed to in those first 2 games. They really stamped their authority, and even in the 3rd game, which came down to an overtime goal. Remember that, hey? I mean, that's it. That's how closely matched these 2 teams were. And after that, they let it slide. So they really did all the work that they needed to, and just weren't able to push through this time. Hopefully next time they are able to come through and sit in that final brackets for them, for their sakes. But for now, it is an IVE showdown for the finals.
Absolutely. The Deviants versus Ascendants. Can the Deviants unseat Ascendants? We're going to let Ascendants take a short breather, as will the casters, and we will be back for your final of the Raving Mad Gamerz Lockdown series in, let's call it, I think 3 minutes will be enough for everybody to take a breather and get what they need and get back here. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and we're back and ready to get into the final.
Oh, IVE Ascendants versus IVE Deviants, and arguably the best Deviant side I've seen so far from these guys. They really were playing well against... man, who did they play? GSE? Was that the game?
No, that was Atomic. Atomic played GSE.
Atomic.
Yes.
Yeah. Deviants versus Atomic. That was a great showing coming out from Deviants. So I think if Deviants are going to take on their rival team from their fellow organization team, I think it could be tonight.
Well, let's see. So we have... okay, so now we're just waiting for the Deviants to get into the party. And then we can get this row on the showed.
That annoyed me more than it should have.
So your online session tomorrow, you got to tell me how long is it? I mean, are you teaching all day, different classes, or is it like an experimental take on one team?
We've actually done it in quite an interesting concept. Is we've got 2 lessons a week basically with each of our classes. So and we've split it up. So each subject has the grade 11s say on Tuesday and a Thursday, and I've taken just the grade 11s. We've split the entire department into 3 because the nice thing is you don't have to worry about having 3 teachers teaching 1 grade. You just have 1 teacher teaching the whole grade because it's online. You post 1 set of information, put 1 set of notes up, and they can come together. And then so we do like contact sessions where we can go in and answer students' questions and stuff like that. But other than that, I've made a couple of online videos that they can go and peruse at their leisure.
And
there's way more things. Yeah.
And so, do you think this is going to be the future? I mean,
Not
do you think
in South Africa.
So you don't think this will extend beyond the lockdown?
No, definitely. And the big problem with this is that I'm very lucky because I teach at a private school and we've got very good infrastructure. So all the kids have internet access. How do you do this now in a rural school when not a single person has even a cell phone, let alone any sort of uncapped internet? So, it's not a solution for all. It's certainly not a panacea, but we're pushing through it. And we're hoping to just get what we can out now. It's just, okay. I think everyone in this lockdown is kind of freaking out about the world. And so it's just everyone's coming on board to help each other out. It's been the most amazing thing, actually.
Fair enough. All right. At the request of one player, we're going with Manfield Stormy for the final. I tried to push them for Neo Tokyo, but that got vetoed. I don't know why people are so opposed to these awesome maps, but there you go. So we're going to be on a Stormy Manfield map. This is the final, the Raving Mad Gamerz Lockdown Series.
I love the name as well.
Lockdown Series. Now, there's a question about whether this is best of 5 or 7. Let me just... Deviants Orange, I think. Let's see. Best of 5. Team A, Team B. Ascendants Orange. I need to change the team name from Meme Team to Deviants. Okay, good. Game 1, best of 5. This is the final. Let's go.
Should be interesting. I'm excited to see how these 2 teams face up against each other now. If ever there was a contest for these guys, we have our first game going off, and neither team giving off a lot of advantage yet. Empty Promises, or now Empty as he's known. Obviously, that broken promise of his in the last game.
Oh, Fallacer opens the scoring for Ascendants.
Now let's read this. Coming down very, very quickly, and he manages to read it. Often that ball, as it comes off the ground, has a tendency to overshoot the goals and find that crossbar. But did well on that one and found a quick goal, and not a long time to score there. So I think they're going to want to keep on that sort of pressure of the previous
Oh my
games,
goodness, Shadow! 28
pass coming in,
seconds.
Shadow. Look at this pass coming off. Yeah, in the corner. Off his toes. And Shadow finishing off beautifully.
Oh my
play.
goodness, this Ascendance team, compared to what we saw in Game 1 against Meme Team, I mean, my word.
And again, Skill Steals being the one sitting at the back, looking after his own team's goals.
No.
Okay. Forget it. I give up. That's it. GG. We're done. You guys can go home.
My word.
Where did that come from? Where's our defenders? Deviants, this is not the same matchup that you guys were showing earlier, so we've got to see a little bit. You know, might be just. Maybe remember they have been sitting quietly. For
exactly. Well, that's I think. You know, they've been waiting for a while. Oh, but off the crossbar, Darth again with that reset shot of his.
All right, I'm gonna stop talking. This commentator's curse is going great. I expect to see a double flip reset.
Oh!
Forget it.
My goodness, this.
That's the pace of this match. 4 goals in 51 seconds.
Well, listen, the Ascendants are coming hot off their run against the Meme Team, taking 3 games in a row, and they got better and better with each game. This game, they're running rampant, while Deviants have been kind of sitting idly for the last 45, 50 minutes, waiting for that match to finish. So I don't know, does that play a role?
I think so, but I certainly don't think it's going to determine who's going to win the series. Sure, this first game is now, you know, it's going to be difficult for them to pull it back. 4 goals is intimidating at the best of times, but one game is a game. It's a best of 5. So we are able to drop a single game. So if it does take them this game to warm up, they're certainly showing the skills that they are able to put on their own shots. We've seen Darth, we've seen Eugen, both taking great shots now already, and they can pull off any sort of shots that they want. So I certainly wouldn't count them off not being able to score goals.
No, and already, yeah. And I was just thinking, there was a passage of play with four goals, chop, 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 one after the other. But this last 45, 50 seconds of play, it looked like Deviants had kind of started to get themselves together, and they were a lot more organized, a lot more focused in moving forward. So maybe it was just unfortunate. They got caught on the back foot, but they've been punished. Now they got 4 goals to overcome, but they look like they're better set to at least threaten to take them.
Yeah. Even if they could get 2 goals in this match, they would be countering that. As long as they don't let in any more, and they could. So, I would take mentally the game from this point now.
Yes.
I would discount the 4 goals in the beginning. If you're looking at how the 2 teams are matching up, certainly. From this point now would be the better reflection. But they took a couple of seconds or an entire minute to really warm up, and unfortunately they gave away 4 goals in that minute, which is a mountain for any team to climb.
Yeah, but your point is very valid. Just focus on what you're doing right now. If you lose this, so be it. But take a bit of momentum and a bit more of a focused, organized play into game 2. But there's still half the game to go, so they could still bring it back. It's they have the time to do it, but they kind of got to start now.
Both teams looking incredibly dangerous on attack, though. Shadow not managing to find this one. He's going to try and get a touch now. Does manage to pick up the boost, which is going to benefit him out. Double commit coming out. They're both Darth and Empty Promises trying for this one, leaving Eugen alone at the back, and decides to just slow it down. Good option as he allows his team to rotate around and give some time for Empty Promises and Darth.
Shadow with a very important intercept there. There were a couple of...
Ooh, this could be it. This could be it. Ooh, good shot. And very nice predictive read.
Important read. Every time I see...
Shadow was the last one back there.
Every time I see MT, I think of a hungry horse. Oh, skill steal!
No, this was Empty. This was a problem with Empty. He got it off his roof.
Oh, he bounced it straight up. Wow.
That was not what they wanted. And again, not the goal that you want to be letting in, especially when you're already facing down, trying to get another 3 goals in a minute and a half.
Small margins. Small margins. Nice clear now by MT. He's going to set up Eugen. Eugen looking to follow his own shot now around the corner. Dumps it down for MT. MT can't get on top of it. Eugen again setting it up for Darth, but cleared away.
Good aggressive play coming out from them. Now it's going to be a double commit though, and I don't want to see this coming out from the Deviant side. Is if they start double committing to their shots, they are going to have problems. Nice. Very, very good technique of theirs. Get it high on the wall, pass it down to a waiting player in the center, get that pass, get that redirect shot, and it's going to beat most of your team. Shadow the only ones who really shut it down so far. But consistently good play, and they're playing towards their strengths, which is nice. They just got to be careful about these counterattacks. Shadow is the player who can flick
my
us.
goodness, that save by Eugen. Wow.
And that was a quick flick, eh? He picked it up on top of his car, flicked his car over, and backflipped that thing into the top corner, and still managing to make the save.
Shadow controlling it nicely from a backward position, which looked very awkward. But he sorted it empty, can't find the net. They really should have had a goal there.
Not finding the net. And look at it though. If you discount those first 4 goals, these two teams are tied up 1-1. And it's interesting to see that. And that was not even a great goal coming out from the side of IVE Ascendants on Orange. So, you know, yep, game 1 definitely going heavily in the way of IVE Ascendants on paper. But mentally, the two teams I think have figured out each other a little bit. Unfortunately, it is going to be IVE, or unfortunately for the Deviants, that was enough to give them a 1-game loss. So, 1 game down.
But they have the makings to bring the game and the challenge to Ascendants.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see them I'd love to see this go to game 5. In fact, in an ideal world, this goes overtime in game 5.
Let's push it. Overtime for each of these games. 12 minutes.
Wow.
3 hours of Rocket League.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was just thinking, after ACGL, we might be finished by 9:15. It's like a half shift.
It's fantastic, I must admit. Okay, right. So we've seen a lot of good Rocket League. It's going to be interesting to see now how this Deviant side counters this. Good little touch. MC not managing to win that 50-50 instead. Does shut it down. Oh, Darth. Rare miss coming out there.
Diving pass.
Forcing Eugen out of position.
Shadow to Falliser. Oh, I thought it was to Falliser, but Falliser ran past it.
Not 100% sure why. Good shot coming out from Eugen. Now followed up by Darth, and there it is. You see what I mean? This Deviant side is there. They are here to win this.
Oh, Shadow with the misread off the backboard, off the back wall. Darth makes no mistake.
Yeah. Darth was in a good position there. It was a good pass. There was never supposed to be a shot. Now Darth is going to be on top of this as well. Gets a nice pass towards the center. Empty Promises is barreling towards us, trying to create some pressure. Pops it out towards the center. Not enough space for Eugen though.
Oh, Shadow with a great shot. Great save by Eugen again. His second miracle save of the match. Just make sure that they don't concede and level the game.
And he did well enough there to actually get it high enough that there was no follow-up shots. And there was an attempt at it, but MC did well. Now it could be an attempt. That was an attempt there. Shadow had an opportunity. Now it's going to turn around the other way. Instead it's going to be MC to get the second touch. This all came off Shadow missing the shot. He had an open goal here.
And the back net exposed. Skill Steal can't get in front of that ball to push it away. And now the Deviants have the 2-goal advantage. Well, let's see where this goes now. Ascendants were rampant in that first game, but only, to be fair, in the first minute and a half of that game. So how do they respond now, coming from behind?
Deviant looking the better team over the last 5 minutes, excluding that. So some good saves coming out, especially from Eugen. Now doing a lot of work there. Cuts down Falliser. Falliser's going to make some work now for Shadow in the corner. And good defense coming out, though. You know, even though you've got your Ascendant side putting on a couple of good shots here and there, they've been more than equal to the task every time. And so, not an uncomfortable position here for the Deviant side.
All right, who pushes?
Game? Yeah. It's going to be up to them to do a lot of work. They've managed to wear down 2 minutes of the clock and come out with a 2-goal lead. So they're going to want to extend it, and it's going to be up to Ascendance now to make something happen. They're really struggling with these passing plays. Beautiful double touch coming out.
Oh, skill steal with the miss.
Open nets.
Oh, wow. Skill steal will be smacking himself here. Misread that. Left his net completely exposed. Darth, with not the most difficult shot he'll ever have to shoot to score a goal. And now it is 3-0. Deviants looking like they're going to level this up at 1 game all, and the prospect of game 5 gets more possible, but Deviants making the same mistake that Ascendance just did.
Not sure why Darth charged for that one. He was last man back by a long way, and you don't dedicate 100% when you're doing that. It's not to a corner anyway. There's
Diving in completely,
that can happen. There's so many backboard touches that a player could get. Even if he comes over the 50-50, if that thing comes anywhere out towards the center, you're leaving an open goal for your team. So a little bit of a rare mistake for them. Certainly not going to cost them the game yet, but it is the first step that you have to take.
Yeah, but it's always in my experience is once your opponents get that first goal, they get the most dangerous thing in Rocket League, which is hope. And when your opponents have hope, it's a pain in the ass.
I don't know if you played Rumble, that punching bag, that one's also pretty dangerous. But other than that, yeah, hope is there.
Hope is right up there with it. Oh, Falliser with the miss! Empty doesn't get the goal! They are so lucky not to be 4-1 down here, and they might get a return goal, but no, Shadow is denied. But Skill Steal will finish, and now this is very, very dangerous for the Deviants.
That was a little bit unpolished on both goal sides there, coming from that Deviant side. You had, it was empty, just not finding the back of the net of arguably an open net. Yes, he was in a difficult position. Yes, he had to do it quickly, but at the same time, he's going to be kicking himself, especially when that turns around. And then Darth just not managing to make enough of a clear. He got there, he got the save, but he didn't get past the crossbar. And so that's 2 goals now coming out for Ascendance. Again, that hope now increasing just a little bit more and becoming even more dangerous.
And 4-1 versus 3-2 is a completely different mindset, a completely different approach to the game. But listen, they're still in the best position. They do have the lead, so they are sitting better. But now they just gotta somehow not allow Ascendance through for a third time.
You know, where they let go on both of these goals is I think they stopped playing their own game. They dominate in these passing plays, these nice, quick 1-2 plays. And instead, they got their positioning out a little bit. They were not reading these second touches and just not controlling it. You know, they had the right idea, but
what was going on there? That ball seemed to float for an age in front of the blue net. Darth, he didn't get the clear. Shadow rolls it in front. Eugen and Empty took an age getting back to their own net.
Yeah, I don't know why Empty pushed past his net there. He was following up on Darth, and I think he expected Darth to get a little bit more out of that and was there for the 50-50, but instead it got pushed past him, and that means 3-goal lead now thrown away with only 40 seconds left. They're obviously not out of it. If worst case scenario for them right now, this is it. Darth has got the opportunity. They are going to be very happy about that. That should not have been this close with 30 seconds left.
Double commit there in the corner, leaving Skill still on his own, and he can't get the clear. And easy peasy, Darth gets another goal.
All right, so Ascendance has been the team that's had to, every time they've scored a goal, has been shut down quickly and had that lead taken away from them. Now it's going to be interesting to see if they can do it. If it's going to shoot in towards the center like that, not going to be easy. Shadow now working together with Flow. Skill Steal going to be the last one. Empty makes the save though. 16 seconds left, and they're going to have to do something if they want to prevent this series from getting level.
Oh, missed by Eugen. Skill Steals up. He gets the block. Shadow now trying to control in the last 1 second before it bounces. Falliser shoots by it. That was so close, but Deviants prevail and bring one back.
Ooh, a couple of opportunities from both sides going the wrong way at the end of that. It's just not managing to finish those things off, and that could have easily gone either way. It does, however, go to the Deviant side, and considering their hammering in the first game, we were right. That mentality has been completely different from the first minute. They needed that time to warm up. They've now started playing the way that they want to. And if they can get back into that mentality, get back into those nice high ceiling passes towards the center. But I do think that the momentum is on the side of Ascendance here, even though they lost the last game.
But I think that win was so important for Deviants, because to throw away a 3-goal lead and end up losing is incredibly damaging. It's incredibly demoralizing. So the fact that they've won it, I think, means they're still going to put in a lot of fight in this game and not get that sort of desperate, panicky urge to try and snatch a victory back. So they can still afford to play their game and kind of relax. Well, relax is the wrong word, but to be patient with their game.
Patient is the good term for it. Both of these teams come from or rely on their players doing nice strategic plays, good build-up plays, good passing plays between them. And if you're panicking, you're not getting those passing plays together. Nice little bait out coming up from Falisa, puts it high. And Eugen getting a pass towards MT. It does work to get it down to the other side of the field, leaving Skill Steal alone there. Darth is up in the center and he manages to drop it down to Eugen. Eugen looking for that top right-hand corner, and that was a goal attempt that they would have liked to have capitalized on.
Now here comes Darth. Phallus is going to have to get that clear. He does, back by MT. Eugen's going to come. He's going to put it down. Can anybody from Deviants get there? No, not just yet.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen. Oh, great shot coming out from Darth, making big work for Skill Steal. Now it's going to pop down towards the center. Darth has put it there, has done the work. Baits out two of them. Darth doesn't have the boost to turn around, so he's going to have to rotate and leave it up to MC and Eugen to try and refresh this attack.
Ascendance was so awkward there, and they Deviants had such a good opportunity, but no one was to get into the right position. No.
Eugen just trying to force this at this stage. He didn't have the boost, so he was trying to make something happen, but if he had just given that extra half a second. This attack is still going on, though, for the Deviants now, and instead Darth, gonna, after, what, a minute of build-up play there, finally finds the back of the net.
Shadow going up to challenge. He's miles behind Darth and just finds himself now out of position, unable to do anything to effect a save.
Yeah, it's like you said there, RVE Ascendance was very scattered there. They were panicking a little bit, and they were not getting the decent long field clears. The best that they were doing was putting it sideways into the walls, and it just popped back out and allowed for another attempt, even a better shot there at the end.
Phallus now getting it past one. Darth with an important save block. He gets there. Shadow's there! Oh, he's going to hit the crossbar! No, this is Shadow from Game 2 of the semi-finals, and not the Shadow we saw in Game 5.
Oh, Phallus with an opportunity here. It does push it out there. It's going to be one more shot. Empty has rotated around in time, and they're going to turn it around now. Darth is looking to get hold of this at the bottom. Does! Great pass coming out there from MT.
And Ascendance being punished hard for those consecutive misses.
Man, Shadow would be kicking himself. He rolled it off the crossbar onto the sidebar and then out. And you got to feel like a basketball player being cheated there with the move. I mean, you don't see it that often in Rocket League, but instead, what you are seeing is 2 goals coming out for the side of IVE Deviants. They did take the last match. They went down in the first one because of a rough first minute. And instead now, a nice team pinch coming out. It's going to push it all the way down. Skill Steal's waiting underneath it. He has got some time. Gets it past Empty, but Empty gets retribution by pushing it. Now it's going to go into the backboard. Eugen's up for this, and instead it's going to be shoved out.
Oh, Skill Steal waiting to beat Empty. Gets demolished from behind by Darth, opening up the play for them.
Oh, man, the double demo.
Phallus now puts it in front. No one there from Ascendance to finish off. Shadow now will have an attempt. He's going to put it off the backboard. Skill Steal's up! Yep. And of course, Skill Steal will put it in.
Oh, this all came from this double touch here from Shadow. He managed to shut it down and then actually beat out Darth in the air. Get it down to Skill Steal. And Skill Steal, very close to the goal there, manages to turn a nice angle and get it around everyone. So, closing that goal lead down a little bit, gets it to 1 goal, and that's where you want to be.
Yeah, but you know, you just don't. If you're Deviants, you don't want to see Ascendant starting to put together plays like this, because when they start with it, they don't stop.
Indeed, but looking to control a little bit more. Skill Steal coming in. We haven't seen him scoring goals for the last couple of matchups, but not a great clear coming out from Falliser now, putting his team under position. Skill Steal is going to be there. Shoves off the sidewall. Means Empty Promises has a shot. Good clear out by Falliser. Means that they're able to turn around. This is going to be a long shot. This is top corner.
My goodness.
Not able to be sunk
Oh, Eugen, important clear off the backboard there. Skill Steal was getting underneath that, waiting for it to waterfall down onto his roof.
Trying to find Empty Promises now. Empty is up, but Skill Steal is up first. Shoves it down to Darth. Darth has got it past one. Shadow going to have to make a desperate clear into the corner. Gives up his life for it, but allows some space for Eugen. And it sounds a little bit more dramatic because...
It sounds amazing.
But giving up your life just seems like a great consequence, a great sacrifice for your team.
It sounds like the ultimate sacrifice. All right, 20 seconds now for Ascendants to bring this back. Cleared away. They'll probably have one more attack opportunity, but first they're going to need to get possession. They get it now. Falliser looking to challenge Empty, gets it past him. Skill Steal, Shadow now. Oh, and a desperate save. Was that by Empty?
Yeah, Empty was waiting there, and you could see Shadow was there. Shadow was waiting for that pass going. If anything pops out, it's my responsibility. And Empty spotted him out there. Sat patiently, and as Shadow desperately came in for that last one, making the saves there, getting his savior medal, in fact, with that last one. And more shots coming out for the side of Ascendants there. 9 shots there to the 6 of Deviants, and Deviants still taking it away. That means 2 games in a row they've managed to pull it off after their opening, and they're sitting in the winner's seat. Just a single game left to crown themselves titles over their compatriots.
Well, if Ascendants are going to win this, they're going to have to go to a consecutive Game 5 after handing advantage to their opponents. So we may just get what we wish for, but that last shot, you just felt like it kind of deserved the overtime, right? I just felt like this is going to go to overtime, but it didn't. Deviants prevail. They have the advantage. Can they make it count in game number 4?
And you know, this is the second time that RVE Ascendants is going to have to... Ooh, Empty with a great shot there. This is the second time that RVE Ascendants is going to have to come back from being games down and not able to lose the second game. They managed to pull it off against Meme Team now, but whether they're going to do it in this game is going to be slightly harder, I believe.
Well, here comes Darth. He's past 1, he's past 2. It's on the backboard. Skill Steal misses the clear. Oh, but Shadow going to help out his teammate.
Nice slow down play coming from Skill Steal.
Oh my
really
word.
Falliser.
If Falliser had got the touch, that would have been an unbelievable end to a superb piece of team play.
I mean, they went up together, hey? They both jumped at the same time. They knew that they were working together on this shot, and he did find him, but just not enough to get that last little touch into the back of the net. They were set up perfectly for it, and it could be dangerous. Yeah, this is going to bounce out awkwardly out of this corner
but
now.
It is an ominous sign, because when they can start to string those together and they get it right, as we saw against Meme Team, they just become rampant and impossible to... Shadow! Oh, how does Darth save that? Wow!
Coming down off the backboard, that was critical. No one else was going to be able to make that, and I think even that was a 50% save coming out from him. He read it perfectly, and if it had been just a little bit slower than he was expecting, that would have plummeted towards the goal and had to watch as the ball sailed overhead. But does enough work, and still a minute and a half in with no goals coming out.
And the closer it gets to the end, the more meaningful the first goal becomes.
Indeed, you certainly don't want to be playing a goal down with a minute left on the clock, especially not if you're RVE Ascendants. Yeah, when you've got to win this game, you've got to be making these opportunities happen, and that one not coming out instead. So
yeah, but this is...
they're back in goals.
This was ours. It just looked, the build was coming. It was great work by Ascendants. It was just You just felt it coming, and there it was. Great bit of teamwork, rotating out, bringing the ball right back in, and a sustained bit of short amount of pressure, but it pays off. And Ascendants have a very important lead here in game number 4.
1 goal is not a lot, but it is the start, especially when you're down so far. That is the first key, the first step in the journey that it takes to come back. And what a journey it will be if they do manage to solve it. 2.5 minutes left, though. Half the game, excluding overtime. And nice passing play starting to come together for Ascendants.
But they have been guilty of giving up leads with kind of a little bit of silly play, letting their opponents come at them, just like they're doing now.
This should not have happened. Fallister had a better opportunity. Empty with an aggressive little shutdown. But when there's the last man back, you got to go for those aggressive. You throw one out of your 3 players, and if it comes out even 50-50, that's coming out very much in his advantage and slotting it in at the end. Well
and
played.
again,
So play from Empty.
Ascendants allowing their opponents to get back into a game. So now they're going to kind of reset and do it all over again. Can they build that sustained pressure which we saw leading to their first goal? They're going to try now through skill steal, but Darth reads it well, but so does Fallister, winning the 50. Skill steal now, popping it on the backboard. Shadows up! It's rolling off the post! No!
Shadow's got to be hating this game right now. Millimeters is the difference between him scoring those goals. That's the second time he's rolled off that sidebar and out. Instead, it turns around. Darth getting the second touch, but not finding it.
And just saying,
Actually, that was the third touch.
And if Deviants score immediately after a failed Ascendants attack, it's just so brutal. No justice, but there it is! Deviants taking a lead.
Yes, Phallus is not coming out well in these 50-50s. Just a lot of aggression coming out that he's probably not anticipating. And Darth this time taking it off his bonnet to put it in the back of the goal.
And now 1.5 minutes to go. Ascendants have all the damn work to do.
All the work to do. Oh, this one could be interesting as well. Still going to be their ball. Darth is going to look to beat it out past Phallus. Phallus is reading it nice and high, but plenty of time for Eugen to try to find Darth in the end there.
This
Empty's
is
gonna come out
dangerous now.
aggressively.
Skill still does very well. Oh, he's going all the way, but cut out by Eugen. Shadow, what can he do? Putting it across. Skill still trying to take. It's loose in the middle. Phallus is up, but he's underneath it. Less than a minute to go now. Ascendants at risk of losing this final.
We did say how dangerous it would be to be a goal down with a minute left, and that's exactly the position that Ascendants finds himself in now. Again under attack here. It seems like this blue attack has been dominating. Eugen's got the open shot, but puts it on the ground. Easy save for Shadow. Still going to look to keep this up, though. Eugen's had to fall all the way back, and Empty coming from the wrong side.
Shadow down. Oh, down to a mate. Skill still took a while getting there. Eugen almost misreading that, but doing enough to thwart the attack, which was just starting to build.
I don't like this passive play coming out the back there. There we go. Darth has got it up onto the backboard. Shadow's going to have to do something. Does manage to get a touch. Could be baiting someone.
Fallister now. He's got 9 seconds and no boost, but Skill still having a go. It's loose in the middle. Shadow putting it wide. And now everybody up for Ascendants. Skill still can't do anything. The ball's going to bounce. And Ascendants have been unseated by a rampant Deviants. Deviants, the underdogs for sure, unseating the favorites in the Raving Mad Gamerz Lockdown Series final.
That is an amazing turnaround. Just a single game, actually just a single minute of domination coming out from Ascendants there in that first minute of the game. And Deviants shook it off. And I said they were playing so well. This is the first time I've seen them looking this powerful. This is the most powerful I've seen them. And to be able to take on a team like Ascendants and play well. All of the games were close. You got to give them that. But what a victory coming out. 3 games to 1 from the side of the Deviants.
And how awesome is this, though, for, as we've spoken about a few times tonight, for the Rocket League scene in South Africa, because there is some concern that, 2 teams are going to dominate and it's going to be so hard. But there are some teams that are coming up that are just looking amazing. And there's enough of them now that the order of things is going to be threatened, that there are more teams who have a shot at getting to the top, getting to the last 4, getting to the last 2, and then ultimately winning these sorts of tournaments. And with so many tournaments now being played and being played regularly, it's fantastic. And long may we see more of this, more challenges to the XDs, to the Ascendants, and to others. But what a great night of Rocket League.
What a great night, I must admit. And you talk about more Rocket League tournaments. We do have a lot more, guys. There's going to be a nice one from ACGL on Wednesday that's coming up there. Apparently, there's a tours tournament that's out there. We've got the Medal State tournament on Saturday, 1,500 Rand prize pool in that one. So, guys, get involved in these sort of things, whether it's Raving Mad Gamerz like you saw here tonight, whether it's ACGL or Medal State. Everyone, I know Momentum is also doing a lot of great work around here. And so, you know, we've got good support from these corporations and from these organizers. I'm so glad to see teams coming out, and it's so good to see the teams that have been working really hard getting to the tops of these tournaments and not just showing their might in the finals, but coming away with the victory too.
And now I am very torn because I'm a twos main. I love doubles, and I just don't think there are enough opportunities for twos tournaments. And ACGL are hosting a twos tournament on Saturday, unfortunately at the same time as the Metal State Threes tournament. And now I don't know which of those I want to stream and cast, and I think actually twos is probably going to win out, because I think twos needs a lot more exposure. I think that's a highly underrated game, but we'll see as the week progresses. But how awesome to have to make these choices where there's so much Rocket League, you have to choose one or the other. So that bodes very well for the future. But here we go.
That's what we can do is,
yes,
you do the twos tournament, I'll stream the threes tournaments, and then we can swap VODs at the end of that.
I think that's awesome.
2 screens up.
I love it.
Cool.
Let's set that up. I think that's an astonishingly good idea. And that's it from us.
Oh, the surprise. Really astonishingly good? Am I not normally full of great ideas?
No, it's just, they're just great. A boringly expected good idea. How's that?
Haha, you suck.
All right,
guys, so definitely going to be a lot more Rocket League coming your way this week. I'm sure whether it's going to be on Deaded Horseborn's channel, on my channel. I'm Ultraism, by the way, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah.
So definitely keep up to date on the Discord, on the Facebook page, the Rocket League South Africa. Go follow all these teams on Twitter. There's a lot of people out there. And I hope you're following both of us. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Bare minimum.
As you should be. So, as always, it has been a massive pleasure to sit alongside Ultirism. I'm Deaded Horseborn. And in one way or other, at tournaments in the future, we will see you for some more brilliant South African Rocket League. But now, from us, we're out, and good night.
Cheers, guys.
Shall we play a game?